I mean, that is the thing, though, Gio, is eventually at some point in time, and I'm sure it's already happening, and I just don't know about it because I'm not in the university system anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm not reading maybe like JSTOR as often as I should or whatever. But I guarantee you, someone is doing anthropology papers on these kind of phenomenon that we were just talking about. Just like, well, he's got his own audience, but he's decided to join this group or this thing. It's, and this is all being done somewhat organically. Or almost entirely organically, because there's no talent agency that tells you you should hook up with this guy, or you should join this camp, or you should change your profile picture to this. I mean, it is if you're on like normie YouTube and you just do like challenge runs or whatever on the internet, and you have like a agency contact info in the bio. But for most people who does this politically, no, not so much. And I'm guarantee that there's going to be some kind of anthropology paper being written about it.
Yeah. No, this is true. I mean, there ain't no rest for the poster. Hot takes don't grow on trees,
That is very true.
We got gems to post. We got engagement to mine. Ain't nothing in this world for free. We can't stop. We can't go down. We wish we could, because there ain't no rest for the poster until we finally log off for good. That's a
the algo's been good to me so far. Yeah, we are on YouTube. That is true.
That's the only Caged Elephant song that I actually like.
Wow, we're on YouTube. That's so true, Mark. I believe we are live on YouTube.
We got Charlie in the chat.
Twitter.com. We have a lot of people in chat today.
Yeah.
Hello. Good evening, everybody.
It's been quite a week, though. I think. Let's not talk.
This is true, Pac-Man Respecter. You can log off, but you can never leave. Like, there's a good friend of mine who's in law school who deleted his Twitter account for now, and he's literally sending me like screenshots of things I saw like 3 days ago on Twitter, and I'm just like, "Yep, you can never leave. You can never leave, especially if you were a poster for a while."
Oh my God, it's true. It's just, and by the way, two things. Okay, so I want to direct your attention now that Micah Paul is in the chat. You have to do two things. Go to pureobject.net, pure object, like the Baudrillard concept, pureobject.net to get Gio merch, and go to, what's that pouch called?
Alp.com.
Alp.com.
So for all your nicotine needs, or
Alppouch.com. /code prude.
But yeah, for those who are interested, our good friend Mike of Pole has made the Gio Panichetti Angry Art Frog hoodie, complete with the Norwood and the Fez. You cannot go wrong.
Yeah.
He's even sold out. Look at the sizes. You can never be shamed here. You can never be shamed on the Digital Archipelago.
But I don't know. That's expensive, though, to get up to 6X. Don't laugh.
Telling on yourself there, buddy, aren't you? Look at that. Look at that. You too can go around just like Micah Pole does on his various HVAC jobs wearing a Digital Archipelago t-shirt. So you can buy one of these for Gio, or you can buy the Digital Archipelago t-shirt that we have. Links below in the description. But yeah, welcome. This is episode 120 of the Digital Archipelago. We are cruising right along. If you were to listen to us now, one episode a week, you would have you'd have over 2 years of content to listen to. It's insane to think about. We've been doing this for over 2 years. The time has really flown by.
I know. One of my favorite Micah Paul stories was when he had to fix an HVAC system at the ghetto school in Tennessee. And how, he was he had to fight for his life. It was amazing.
It's time to buy another shirt then there, Mike.
Yeah. So owlpouch.com, we finally have sponsors.
Oh yeah, we've sold out, baby. We're hitting the big leagues. Eventually, I will get a black eye like one of my other mutuals, and I will join an elusive network of DC Straussian officials, and we'll make it big. But until that day comes, you can always just find out about how Patrick Casey had a good time at a party. So, episode 120. What a great time to be alive. There are weeks where nothing happens, and then there are weeks where the Chud Jack becomes the Ack Jack, and everything happens. We've had, opening discussions of a peace deal with the war in Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
We've now had German elections where The AFD basically doubled their vote share overnight, and
which
we
was actually a
watched.
victory, even though they didn't win. But
Well, I mean, it's a huge deal considering everything, and then to watch the German political establishment effectively say, "We don't care about ideological differences as long as the far right doesn't go."
yeah,
You know, it's like, oh, when push comes to shove, the liberal will side with the fascist to keep the communist out, and it's like, well, turns out throughout history, the exact opposite has been the case. It's like, well, it sounds like your theory needs a little more work.
Well, now I assumed Sean Schaefer. I assumed that Constantine did the Gio Groiper. But if you were the one that did the Gio Groiper, then please DM me. I'll try to reply to that one because I definitely will want to pay you for the rights. That's only fair. This is why I'm saying this publicly on record because I don't want to be a bastard and like cheat people out. But anyways, yeah, the German election was very interesting. A lot of people were noting how there was an anime account that had a viral tweet about how basically the sort of post-war consensus, like you were saying, of really like even before the war, a communist talking point that liberals will always side with fascism. You could say that when it comes to, I don't know, the excessive capitalism, but that's not really, I mean, to them it's fascism, but that's not really the essence of fascism. But really, when it comes to just the far right or the right wing in general, it really is like them versus us versus the world. And the liberals will always side. Like there was even moderate conservatives. What are they called? The Social Democrats?
No, the CDU, the Christian Democratic
The
Union.
Christian Democrats, yeah. They were like siding with like far left anarchists and communists. And like I thought that maybe there could have been a situation similar to France where the Front National was essentially brought into the coalition with the other right or conservatives parties. But of course, you know, Germany, unfortunately, well, West Germany, not East Germany, which is another interesting electoral trend. But West Germany, you know, as we know, has been totally psyoped after the war, and they've been hit the hardest with the propaganda. And so it will take, I think it was even Egyptius, or no, it was Fisher King that said the way that the sort of like German mindset, it will take generations for them, you know, hopefully Germany will be in a state to have a restoration at the time, but it will take multiple generations for even the notion of a nominally right-wing party coming into power whatsoever. But it is encouraging that they did get 20%. So,
yeah, no,
yeah.
and I mean, for context, I covered, excuse me, on my channel the last German election in 2021 with a few German mutuals of ours. We had Monothalmos on here talking about it as well. So I mean, the change from just last time, the last election, is an insane thing to consider in terms of voter turnout. So I mean, it's a good thing to see. So we'll see what happens now. And I mean, the CDU and the SPD together have a very small majority of 13 seats. If you want to know more about it, I think Eugipius has probably some of the best electoral/German news content that is put out in English. So I'm very hopeful for that. And, we'll see what happens in future elections. But even then, I think literally, what's his name? Mers had come out and said, listen, you might have heard on the campaign trail, we're going to do something about immigration. We're not closing the border. The border stays open.
Yeah.
So the usual, at least they're more honest with their political betrayal than you see a lot of times in Anglosphere politics, which is somewhat appreciative. I'm not going to lie. I wish that Republicans could be just that more honest rather than platitudes and values. And then, speaking of which, fun story last night, because these things happen and you blink and you miss them. So there was a scam that was ran yesterday, and I watched it live. And I think both Catherine and I were watching it live because she followed the account, and that's how I saw it. So there was a fake account that got pushed that was impersonating Sam Bankman-Fried.
Wow.
And it was this like large Twitter thread. It kind of went viral. I mean, it got like tens of thousands of views, and it basically said, "Thank you, President Trump, for the pardon, and I'll be joining Doge." And it's like, come the fuck on. But it looked pretty legit. It had the silver the silver check mark and everything to implement, to imply government official and things like that. And of course, I'm like Googling rapidly, and it's like, well, this makes sense because the New York Post was reporting like a month ago that they were pushing for SBF to get a pardon from the Trump administration. Apparently, he's been praising Elon Musk a lot to somehow get maybe a seat at the table. And it's just like, but then I went to like the betting markets, and it's like, well, it still doesn't have any bets that he's going to be pardoned or whatnot. The odds are still very high on no. So, and then eventually the account disappeared. And then the guy who owned the account was tweeting about scamming. He's like, only losers scam. And I was just like, this all happened in the span of like 20 minutes. And it was like a blink or you missed it kind of thing on the timeline. And I thought like, wow, that is insane. Because like if that had gotten any real pull before he decided to pull the plug, damn, like that would have caused some waves.
Charged though on a federal level for like impersonating someone, like having to do with an ongoing court case. That guy could get screwed. Like,
well, I mean, he's already in prison. Like the court case is over.
Oh no, but like, I mean, I wonder if there's any legal implications though.
I mean, impersonation if he decided to sue.
Yeah. No, but I know that, like, for example, not that I should mention this, but like, I think it was
one of those do not research moments.
It was one of those mass casualties affiliated with the Discord kitties.
Oh, yeah.
Where someone impersonated, like, it was a fake account. It was someone screwing around. And then I remember, like, the screen grab of when this account went private, saying, like, I was just joking, guys. I can't believe you took it seriously. Like, why you guys, like, the FBI
was this the one that implied RFH was responsible?
Yes. No. It was a different one. It was a different one. It wasn't that. Okay. It was someone else that was impersonating the actual mass casualty person. Causer, yeah. It wasn't that one. It was someone like just sorry. It was the butler. It was an assassination attempt.
Oh, okay.
A guy was pretending to be Maxwell. No, sorry. What's the guy's name?
Matthew Crooks.
Yeah, Maxwell. Sorry, Matthew Crooks. I'm not saying it.
Don't research, kids.
Do not research. So someone was impersonating the Trump, the alleged Trump shooter, and
I don't think you can say alleged if they killed him already. I mean, there's no charge.
No,
but yeah, I know why. Alleged.
But you know what I mean. Like, whether it was Crooks or not, that's whatever. So
it all glowed.
This one was like impersonating him. And he's like, I can't believe the FBI came to my house. My mom's creaking out. It's like, bro, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. What do you think? What did you think? It was an ongoing investigation and you're like memeing. But that's happened a lot, like the Sam Hyde thing. Or like they did it to Logo, I remember once. And he had this like big like modeling public Patreon post and where he was talking about like why he was like a Christian communist and why it was like very, strenuous, but yeah, people do this stuff, but it's just, I thought it was funny because the guy like in real time was getting screwed over by the feds because he decided to meme on the internet. It's like, what did you expect?
Many such cases.
Yeah. But the German election was interesting though about the East German factor, how it is sort of true that communism, for all of its horrors and all of its terror, did in some way shield it from the propaganda efforts of West Germany, or what was inflicted by the Allies. Something that I think Thomas was talking about this with P. Quinones, but also I know Paul Gottfried has written about this, and there's other very colorful authors that have also written about this phenomenon. But it really did play out in East Germany because the AfD did quite well there. And a lot of like normie cons were saying the sort of like cold take about like, because those people know what it was like to live under communism. It's like, no, it's because those people they were subject to a different propaganda regime under the Stasi than they were in West Germany with quote unquote freedom and democracy and, liberal capitalism, which I mean, we know was a lie because we know, the massive social engineering that went on after the war. But, I mean, it is what it is. It'll take a long time, but So what was this Bankman-Fried fake account posting that they were just?
Oh,
like,
it was. I think it was like a 5-tweet thread that just said,
boy.
"Thank you, President Trump, for the pardon. I'm looking for. I've learned my mistakes, or I've learned from my mistakes. Thank you for the opportunity to come back from all this. As someone who knows like the intricacies of the Democratic Party as well as Washington politics, I am proud to announce that I'll be working with the Doge team. It was literally SBF underscore Doge." And he's just like, I'll be working with Elon Musk on this. In the meantime, SBF underscore FTX will be archived, and I will be working from here on out. And thank you so much. Take care. And that was it. Just like a 5-tweet thread.
Me and Elon are going to play a game of Pin the Weasel with,
but with
Ellis.
efficiency.
Yeah, with efficiency. Who can impregnate her with efficiency?
Tiffany Fogg, get that baby maker running. You know, like it's.
Whatever happened to Carolyn Allison, whatever her name is.
She took a plea deal. I think she got like 2 years.
Oh man, she got Hamoka.
Let's hold on. Let me confirm that before I say anything else. And the first picture that pops up is that like ugly ass one from the Seattle Times. She is 31 years old. Good God. Where is she now? She's in prison, right? Her release date is in July of 2026. That weasel's waiting for you, boys. You just gotta wait outside of the prison.
She's gonna do the podcast circuit. I guarantee.
She's gonna do the podcast circuit. She's gonna come out as like non-binary or something, and she's gonna do a tell-all. She's gonna write a book, and she's gonna have like a partner. She's gonna be very Ellen DeGeneres about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then we'll go. And
it's funny we could see this whole arc, Prude. We could just see it happening. That's kind of, like we could see it.
I want to be wrong. I desperately want to be wrong, but I know for sure she will write a tell-all book, and she will get a consultant or a producer title when they eventually do a movie about this whole episode with FTX in the style of The Big Short.
Yeah, it'll be available on Tubi. That'll be. Look at New Glove. She'll be the third chair at Red Scare podcast. Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh,
third Red Scare girl. Can you imagine her and Dasha getting to a war? That'd be, that's amazing.
Yeah, chief polycule investigator. That's the new CPI metric I'm really interested in. Screw the GDP, screw consumer price index. Chief polycule investigator, signed by Kash Patel, director of the FBI.
Kash Patel. Do you remember
Cash App Patel? Thank you very much.
Patel.
Or Cash App. I don't know how it's pronounced.
Do you remember that?
It's all Bob and Vagine to me.
Do you remember that kid back in the 90s during the Clinton administration that his father was like, what was his name? Guzman? His father was like a Cuban diplomat or something like that.
I'm vaguely tracking.
With a famous photo of like the
ice with the kid, the ice raid, right?
Yeah,
the Guzman raid.
Imagine Richard Hanania getting raided by the feds for the illegal polycules. It's like him, and he'll be like that photo. Oh,
the timeline really does feel like on occasion that I'm reading a real raw news article and everyone's just hyping it up.
Yeah.
Like I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop, or I'm waiting for someone to talk about that the shoe already dropped and we actually have a lot more problems than we realize.
Yeah.
Like, I'm waiting for that day to come. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy to see libtards in absolute disarray and in shambles. I'm happy to see everyone get on the hype train and do all that. You're being like the Doobie Brothers. Jesus is pretty cool with me. Like, I get it. I just saw the Nicole Shanahan article about her getting baptized or whatever. Whoa. But and I only saw
Elian Gonzalez. Thank you.
Elian Gonzalez. Okay, why are you thinking Guzman? Are you thinking El Chapo?
I was thinking of the guy that did the Briac scandal. No one who's not Canadian knows about this. But I heard.
Do you want to elaborate on this little piece of Canadian history?
The Briac scandal. There was this guy. He had a he had a gold company, and it was a Canadian company, and he essentially single-handedly destroyed the Canadian stock market throughout the 1990s for minerals, because I believe it was either Indonesia. I think it was Indonesia, but this was like after Suharto. He was like salting the core samples. which means that he was putting microfragments of gold into the core samples to like trick investors into thinking that there was more gold there. And then I believe the government of Indonesia helicoptered him. He was in an alleged helicopter crash, but it was more like, like a Pinochet style helicoptering. So he basically single-handedly destroyed the Canadian commodities and mining market during the 1990s. Because like people were like going crazy. My old man actually had Briac stock. My old man, and he's like, "Oh, I only lost like $200." I'm like, oh my god, because like it was literally a gold rush. Like everyone thought Briac was gonna be like, the East India Trading Company again or something like that. Oh man, yeah. So it was, but anyways, you are right, Prude. But I personally tend to think that Bankman-Fried was just. I wanted to talk about Hanania because apparently Barry Weiss and Hanania are in this relationship of hell.
They're in a relationship of
Coal
kind of.
brimstone.
The coal, fire, and brimstone. Yeah. Although I have to find it funny because there's some of my more like professional face lord mutuals are just like, I don't understand why everyone's hating on her. She's not a conservative. And I'm like, yes, I agree with you. Barry Weiss is not a conservative unless it's about Israel.
Yeah.
But more importantly, the world's richest man and the head of the Department of Government Efficiency, which is literally just the U.S. Digital Services renamed to U.S. Doge, said that she was a conservative. And it's just like, kill me, please. Just take me out with an ice pick in Mexico when I read these things. But nevertheless, I saw that she had, I think because she was on the Free Pet Presses Substack, she was just like, looks like Roman salutes are back on the table. What does this mean in the right wing in America? Richard Hanania explains. And I'm like, please let me die.
Well,
just let me go. Just let me go.
It's sort of like... Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say it's sort of like that article that, there was a bunch of them that that AA was reading about the deal that Trump is making on the war in Ukraine. It was one god-awful article by Douglas Murray, which I think maybe on the Coal Report or something I'll probably have to go through and just destroy. But one of the points was that how is I relating the two? Douglas Murray was talking about how the Russians stole like 20,000 children from the Ukrainians. And it's like, okay, well, are there like mass graves of children? No. And most of those children have relatives in Russia because like, I think the vast majority of people in Ukraine have some relative in Russia proper. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, those children are not like, they weren't stolen. A lot of their parents fled with them. But he was saying about how, it's just a terrible tragedy. But yet when you talk to someone like Barry Weiss and Douglas Murray about incinerating children on a battlefield, when it comes to a certain, it's like, they would never say that, dropping white phosphorus on Palestinian children. They would never say anything about that. That's not a war crime. You know what I mean? But anyways, that's just a minor point. What was very interesting about the Hanania thing was not interesting. I mean, uninteresting in the sense that these people are very good at having very verbose and high-worded ways of saying essentially talking points that have been around forever. And, like, normie lib talking points. Hanania's whole point that Barry Weiss was broadcasting or signal boosting was that the right wing is in power, don't you? It's very much like a James Lindsayite type of thing, where the right wing's in power, and this is why Bannon and Musk and all of them are throwing up Romans, because they are doing this performative thing, but they don't get the memo that they're in power and that they don't have to do this like edgelord stuff when they're out of power. It's like, bro.
Imagine being Richard Hanania, or not Richard Hanania. Imagine being Richard Spencer right now and just saw the Musk one, and then you saw the Bannon one, and then you saw the Calvin Robinson one, although that one got him in trouble and his visa canceled. And then I think there was some Mexican guy that did it at CPAC as well. And imagine going that, just being like, oh, come the fuck on. I did that first. And he's like, I did it before it was cool. I did it before it got appropriated. I said, hail our people before before all you conning took it over. But I mean, I feel like that, actually, I don't follow Richard, so I don't know what he has said in the wake of all this throwing stuff. I'm just thinking that this is really funny. Like, you've been in a coma for a decade, like, oh boy, I can't wait to go to my first MPI conference.
Baby's first MPI conference. No, but Richard's of the opinion. Richard Spencer, I mean, not Richard. Well, I mean, Richard Spencer and Richard Hosty are of the same mind, in the sense that they believe in the same thing as I mentioned that god awful irony leftist Gravity's Rainbow. He wrote that Substack called Fascist Slop. That's what they believe that that Elon Musk and look. I mean, there is a case to be made that Elon Musk, Post Cole, and Jordan Peterson and all those podcast bro people, yeah, it's true. But to say that there's like this overarching far-right political project, and then they're going after these Doge kids that Elon hired, and they said I personally think they're just making stuff up, where they're making this like fantastical case that this 19-year-old kid that Elon hired, this autistic kid, he's like tied to Oder 9 angles, and he's a Satanist right-wing wignan. And it's like these people live in this like parapolitics. You think
that they would know that when they did a background check?
Yeah, exactly. That he's a Satanist that has cheese pizza on his heart. Like it's incredible, right? But Hanania's point was that this is what all those people do. This is what these normie centrists, this is what this sort of alliance between people like Barry Weiss would default, prophetically called the Barry Weiss centrist containment zone, and those Silicon Valley rationalists who essentially are centrist liberal in their politics. They believe that when it comes to the ideological disposition of a regime or of an empire even, or of a civilization, that this ideological behavior or comportment or attitude is essentially fluid. Because, of course, the center is the only place that has real truth, according to people like James Lindsay and Richard Hanania. So to them, they truly believe that because an election took place. Now, you can say that in America, there are a lot of institutions that are being gutted and hopefully being put, based people in there. I'm skeptical in this sense, but the point being is that you can't have an ideological maxim, a sort of discourse, a form of power knowledge when it comes to what I would call transnational progressivism. You can't just overnight with the election of Donald J. Trump basically weed out every single person in the regime or in the sort of order of things. You can't just stop every woke teacher from believing whatever. You can't just stop every bureaucrat. You can look what happened. And, I do bash Chris Rufo quite a bit, but like with those Rufo leaks with that Hannah Grossman girl, where these CIA agents and the NSA people, they're like trans furries and they're into all these weird lurid fetishes. You can't just, unless you like wholesale replace them, if you do the sort of like neo-cameralist, buy them out, get rid of them sort of deal, or other things I can't say on YouTube, then it's not like you're going to change people's hearts and minds overnight. Because to them, when James Lindsay, do you remember when he said that, and then I'll shut up because I've been going on for a while, but do you remember when James Lindsay said that, well, when the right wing gets into power, I'm gonna fight them too. Like it's such a loser.
You've been fighting the right wing since you like had a public career. Like this is the thing. Is this just like, I mean, Oren talks about this
right stuff, the same compulsion.
Well, yeah, and I mean, this is the thing that Oren and virtually every one of our friends talks about. Is this just like, thanks for coming on board, but you said the left you, so you should not have a say at all in any sort of like conservative politics at all whatsoever. But I mean, this is the beautiful loser syndrome that like the mainstream right has, is that they are so desperate for what appears to be the power center. So the mainstream press, respectable Democrats, the Bill Maher's of the world, the Paul Krugmans or whatever, wherein they want the left me types they so desperately want to cheer them on like a mascot. You know, it's the old joke about what do you call the black guy at a Republican Party convention? You call him Mr. Chairman, because like that's sort of just the degree of worship. They're like, see, we're not evil, we're not bad, we're not these like evil things that liberals tell us we are. Why? Because like you know, metaphysically, they're all liberals deep down inside, and you could argue a lot of people we know, we all have our liberal priors, and some of us want to kill the liberal bug man inside of us. But like at the same time, right? Like this is the overripe containment zone where it's just like, well, now that Trump's in office, I can like show my colors a little more honestly, and I can talk about Roman salutes, and I can talk about the woke right. Although I'm kind of glad that term has effectively died, because everybody knows who it comes from, whether it's Neil Shenvi or James Lindsay and the rest of them. It's like, okay, there's nothing here that is going to come out. You know, I'm not going to get anything new out of you. You know, it's the same. It's like what Dave was saying in his live stream the other day. It's just like, I'm going to ask the same 5, 10, 15 questions, and we're going to go through the same 5, 10, 15 questions because they've never been able to come up with an answer to those 5, 10, 15 questions that I've been asking for the last 3 years on Benjamin Boyce's channel. And it's like, yeah, that's pretty much true. And so that kind of means that these terms are effectively dead, which I'm all for. And we were talking about this right after the election, Gio, about like where the left is going to go. And I think that the left has kind of settled for an edgier dirtbag left 2.0.
Dirtbag neoliberalism.
Well, not as dirtbag neoliberalism, but like dirtbag Sean P. McCarthy, the CIA, parapolitics, deep state is really out to get leftists.
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't, I mean, narratively, that works. However, in the face of the evidence, I'm sorry, your left-wing parapolitics does not work for me when the National Security Agency and the Central Intelligence Agency have piss fetish and castration play group chats for their psyops. I'm sorry, you don't get to play that card. And so while there are plenty of things to criticize Rufo and Grossman and all the others about the Manhattan Institute writ large, good for them for showing that off. One, it's disgusting. Two, it's confirmation of everything that we know about. And then three, and arguably more importantly, like a lot of this social contagion shit is being ran by some of the most powerful memetic agencies on Earth. And the intelligence community, as far back as like the National Defense Authorization Act of 2018, at least that I know of off the top of my head, has allowed the full integration of the intelligence and the Defense Department into American public life, whether that's the internet, whether that's pop culture, whether that's Hollywood, whether that's video games. I mean, fucking Infinity Ward has a close relationship with the DoD.
Oh, yeah.
And so, you know, on one hand, those parapolitics things are absolutely right to focus and hammer down on. It just does not help that the things that you can't abandon on a social level, i.e. transgenderism, the race communism, the anti-white DEI positions, the things that are fundamentally unpopular with most normies, like it turns out that's all like bolstered by the state, and that's all bolstered by these sick people with sinecures. Like, I hate to, what was it, the Cumtown edit about the like Mexican lady working at the CIA, and they were doing like the over emphatic like Chola accent. But
I do that. Yeah,
I worked at the fucking CIA, and it's just like, yeah, I know. Like, I met people just like you when I was growing up, and but I mean, like those things are all there, and so
I think Nick Mullen did an Indian guy working at. Well, now we have an Indian guy working at the FBI.
Now, oh my goodness,
you know, I make fun of him, and like, you know, I know like the
yes,
Indian
you can.
thing.
We make fun of it.
No, but I know, but like listen, I'm not cucking, but I think the Kash Patel guy, he is kind of all right. Like, I mean, he's
a diehard loyalist.
Yeah,
I will give him that, and I mean that's sort of the thing that you're going to witness. And we talked about this during the Republican National Convention last summer.
He says who and how.
Yeah,
yeah.
If Trump told Kash Patel to shit in the toilet, he would. Like, that's how loyal he is, and so I appreciate that loyalty. That man's a patriot.
No, it's unironically like he's going to like if Trump told him listen, Kash. There's this guy, his name is Vaush, he's a very disgusting guy. I want you to look into him and all these other Bradtubers. Kash Patel would do it in a heartbeat. Like, literally. Can you imagine Kash Patel going after Epstein and all of his depravity? This is what we can dream on, you know what I mean? Like,
see, this is why I'm saying the timeline has injected this, like, Panzer Chocolat, like, you know, It's injected methamphetamines, Ritalin, a lot of hopium, a lot of copium, but also a lot of shit that's actually happening. So it's this like dangerous cocktail of everything that I don't want to be in, because winning, or the idea of feeling like you're winning, is incredibly addictive. And I say this as someone who likes to, I want to win. I want to win. I want to play to win. I want to make sure that my enemies have no jobs. I want them homeless on the side of the street. I want every single like self-dilating CIA glow agent, when I'm trying really hard not to be like Terry Davis.
We want every Anarchitty squat to be raided like Waco style by Cash Patel.
I do.
Anarchitty squat.
I do. I really do. Also, because Amanda Marcotte over at Salon, I have to say this, because this is the closest thing. I say this. Carl Benjamin, thank you so much. We owe it all to you. This is according to Amanda Marcotte over at Salon. This is an article about Doge that came out just yesterday. Doge owes everything to Gamergate, from its aesthetics to its tactics to its manpower, which largely draws on the same young men, now 10 years older, who are radicalized to the far right via social media. As journalist Max Reed pointed out recently, Musk's project isn't like Gamergate, but straightforwardly is Gamergate, composed of the many of the exact same people rehashing the same unjustified grievances. Literally, in between bouts of attacking federal workers as parasites, Musk and his fanboys also whine that video games are too woke and this justifies fascism.
Unironically true.
Yes, unironically yes. My video games are too woke. It's too far. It's too late. Well, I'm sorry, Zoe Quinn. You got to get the Rosa Luxemburg treatment now. It's just over. I'm sorry. It's over. It's over. I'm sorry. Like, what we're getting now is not fascism. This is moderate liberal pushback. To start off,
this is Contard pushback.
This is liberal pushback. Rightfully right liberal pushback. But also at the same time, this is
Elon Musk going, the woke has gone too far pushback.
The woke has gone insane. The left have lost their marbles. But no, I literally posted I'm going to actually just put it on screen because I thought this was good. Are my messages showing? No. Okay, cool.
Amanda Marcotte, she was...
Yeah, do you want to feel old?
Yeah.
There you go.
Whoa!
There you go.
Someone put the Pinochet Pepe in the chat.
I know, that was great.
Oh man, no, Amanda Marcotte, she was instrumental in the bifurcation of the new atheist. Because like me and Kat talk about this. Maybe one day we'll do a deep dive on it. Maybe all three of us, or maybe we could interview somebody who was a new atheist. They were instrumental in the way that the internet shaped the culture war. And Amanda Marcotte, along with Rebecca Watson and PZ Myers, or as a Canadian, I would say PZ.
Actually, I'm mutuals with Carl. I should just ask him to come on.
Yeah, you should. Yeah. Because the new atheists, they shaped both sides of the internet culture war. You had Carl Benjamin, Jim. Remember, Jim started off as an internet atheist. Daddy Jim.
So many of them
even like Thunderfoot before he cold out. Now he's like just another prog, kind of like TJ Kirk. You know, he's like a Ukrainian shill and all that. But like then you had Rebecca Watson and you had Amanda Marcotte and all these other people that were canceling Dawkins and Michael Shermer. And you had both sides with Atheism Plus. That went into Tumblrista culture. And then you, of course, had the shitlords who were part of Gamergate. So you really, listen, as much as I hated them at the time, and I still do, I have to give the devil its due. The online new atheist movement of the 2000s did set out the precedent and dictate the way in which the culture war would be fought for at least 2 other decades after them.
Well, new atheism's fundamental split came down to how do you wrap yourself around science is true and there is no God with, well, liberalism and egalitarianism. Because there were 2 ways, and we fundamentally saw them. And they went down the SJW progressive wokesters and the alt-right. Because both of them were like, well, if God's not real, and social, like Darwinism is true, and human biodiversity is true, what am I going to do about that? And it's just like, well, you can either become like a race realist, or you can become like the overbearing, like reiteration of that one woman from Bleak House and just be like a telescopic philanthropist caring about everyone but your own people and doing it to such suicidal ideation that like you're literally a straight white man. Like there you go. Like that's how those were your two options.
There was an atheist side to enter a certain factor of NRX as well.
Oh yeah, there still is.
Yeah,
there still is.
I think Spandrel's an atheist.
Spandrel is very much anti-Christian. So,
well, Richard Hosty, come on, like that's
I mean, Richard Hanania was just like, well, I guess my positions are more liberal now. Like, I still hate those like middle America God-fearing magatards, so I might as well just be like a racist
I
liberal.
Hate black people too, but I hate
that's acceptable these days.
yeah.
It's just like everyone's got fatigue, so I mean, I might as well just be a slightly edgy lib. And it's just
here's the thing about Hanania. I've said this before. Okay, now it doesn't matter what your position on Israel and Palestine is. There's a lot of people in the right that not like outright siding with Israel, but at least like don't care about the Palestinians because of modern concepts of human rights or genocide or whatever, or because of the like libtard activists that love Palestine. Whatever you think of it, you have to realize like Hanania at a very deep level is incredibly traitorous to his own people. He's a Palestinian and he's siding with someone who literally wants Palestinians dead. Someone like Barry Weiss essentially wants Palestinians wiped off the face of the earth. And so Richard Hanania, as a Palestinian, that really should plant a little seed of doubt when it comes to all of these like Silicon Valley neo-rationalists and stuff like that. Because if they're willing to like betray their own people to that extent, it's like, you know what I mean, Prude? I don't want to say anything. I'm not saying anything. I'm just,
I feel like you're just trying to imply a lot to the open audience that if they're willing to betray their own people, they'll have no problem trying to kill you.
No problem shivving you in the back, obviously. So like, but that's what I mean. Like, even if you don't exactly like the Palestinian protesters and left-right activists and Antifa people, which I don't either, I think if you are genetically Palestinian, I mean, to just like side with someone that literally wants your race of people dead, like that's, I don't know, man. Like that's, yeah. Anyways, the point. But
me when I see dispensationalists.
What? No, but the thing is though about the right wing being in power, and you said the rise of parapolitics people, and here's the thing: not all of the parapolitics things are exactly incorrect. Like I was reading that Paul Klein fan cam account, and he had this thread. I think I sent it to you about the sort of media manipulation that Paul Klein was conducting for the CIA when he was an executive at NBC, and how he believed in like sort of a full spectrum media dominance that he was hard testing in Eastern Europe after the fall of the Soviet Union, where he basically helped own all of these TV stations in places like Poland and Lithuania and so on and so forth, and to have like a more pro-Western messaging. But take all of that knowledge, take all of that thing, and listen, I do tend to like Sean McCarthy. I know people hate him. He's been nice to me, and I do think that some of his insights are pretty good, although he is kind of like slippery when it comes to things like Trump or whatever. I mean, he's on the left, so who cares, right? But I'm not going to bash him too hard. But the point being is that I think the problem with those people is that they get half of the truth right, and then they have to propagandize themselves to believe the other half. So, for example, there was this article that I think we'll probably cover next week that was from Tablet Magazine. Tablet Magazine is a Zionist publication, and they do have like this glowing. They say that Benjamin Netanyahu is part of like Trump, and that
it's one of the oldest, if not the most authoritative Jewish publication in America.
Yeah,
which you should read. Actually, you should read it.
Yeah, but
that and The Conversation.
The point being is that they had this thing called the sort of whole of society effect. And that's basically what Obama was employing under David Axelrod. And David Axelrod was very instrumental in corralling the messaging of what was going on. And sorry, I'm getting distracted because apparently the Leafs are losing 3-1 to the Boston Bruins, which I can't believe this. I hate this. But anyways, Thank you, Dominator, for informing me that. So David Axelrod was very instrumental with the Obama administration to find a way to corral quote unquote experts, media figures, academics, and essentially, and also politicians by conducting like a full spectrum dominance tactic of whatever social messaging was going to take place. And so this was the way that this author, I think it was Jason Segel. It was Jason Segel at Tablet Magazine. It was a way for him to explain why, especially during Clownvid and other things, why there was a rapid shift in ideological messaging, that you literally had to believe an opposite thing that you were told to believe the day previously. And this is because if you have this apparatus of consent making, you could essentially deploy anything you want to into the population. It's very much like a viral mimetic contagion that you can then deploy. You could basically update people's firmware. Like the normies have like, you know, a very weak like defense mechanism against it. And so you could just like update the software whenever you want. And so it really does explain, I think, whenever people, like a lot of people in the political right, they don't have the same language that say like the new left does. So it can come off very like clunky and kind of like materialistic or very like, how shall I say it? It can come off kind of like mishmashed and clunky and like glued together, kind of like when Curtis Yarvin talks about the cathedral. But behind those ideas, I think if they did have a similar language to a lot of the more like theory solve people on the political left that are still reading critical theory, I think that there could be a way of explaining the whole of society effect that isn't just like putting another label on the global conspiracy like the cathedral. And then, of course, people that don't like, Yarvin or Vap or whatever, they can then say that, well, you're really distracting from the real cause of it by basically saying it's like some nebulous thing. But because people like Curtis Yarvin, they can't exactly go and say, well, you know, if you look at like the middle period of Michel Foucault's writing, for example, then you could say that discourses have a way of populating among people's idea spaces in a very certain manner. And this is because of the radical shifts in the way in which we interpret, gather, collect, and then create knowledge that comes from the 18th and 19th century. And so I think the problem is that both sides are really, not just they're talking past each other, but I think that there's this like weird game where people want to like place each other at the center of the global conspiracy to the point where they could just like ignore reality. Like if you've actually browsed the accounts,
an axe to grind, you're gonna pick anyone that you don't like, and you're gonna like put them at the center of They're gonna be the missing puzzle piece that answers everything. I mean, Caleb Maupin did this as revolutionary socialism, where bread tube served imperialism, right? Like, then he just wrote this like short. It's a short book. I own it. It's actually worth reading. In the sense that like you get an interesting frame of reference, but also like to some extent, I think he's kind of right, because it's just like, well, if you're a socialist anti-imperialist and Vaush is just like, I want you to bomb those kids, then like, well, you know, maybe he's got a point. But however, I think everyone does this because we're intrinsically factional. We're all close together in the same ecosystem. Like X right now, Twitter is the, you know, sort of global ecosystem for media, at least when it comes to American/Western politics, or at least more importantly, the United States. It is the digital, I don't even want to call it the public square. It's just like the digital soapbox in which like the imperial viziers and shit posters and people with Doge and everything else get to communicate stuff to a point where we all are playing bets in the group chat about what alternate account is Vice President J.D. Vance. You know, is it John Winthrop? Is it Fraser Payne? Is it Mein Gott Niles? Was it Hakan? Who was it? Who was it going to be? We have no idea. We'll never know until eventually he screws up and we all find out like a year or two later.
Yeah.
But the point being is that in this ecosystem, we're all fighting for attention. We're all fighting for the same amount of eyes. And we're all fighting for the same amount of dollars, because right now there's no effective patronage network. And because there's no patronage network, right, outside of a few sinecures maybe given out by the Manhattan Institute, and God knows that didn't end so well, that everyone has to grift. And there was this great post today about like defending it, in the sense that like Kash Patel's a really great example. He's got like, I think, a meme coin. He's got t-shirts where like the cash, the S in his name has got the dollar sign. And he's just like, listen, there's no network for you to really grift effectively where you're not going to be given a, you're not going to be given a professorship. You're not going to be given some honorary traveling speaker thing where you make money as a consultant or whatever. Outside of working like the CPAC circuit and some other things like that and getting on a show, you're really not doing much in a way that's going to be like stable income where like some libtard is going to be a associate professor of like extremism at George Washington University and he's going to have that job for like 30 fucking years, write 2 books with a ghostwriter and make a boatload of money. Like that just doesn't exist.
They have everything wrong in that book about the far right. Yeah.
Oh, everything. I mean, I was reading, although you should read those books. Like for instance, I downloaded, and I read, what's that guy's name? I was just talking about him the other day. No. Timothy Snyder is who I was reading about.
Oh God.
Yeah. Oh, I know you don't like him for all sorts of reasons, but like I read, The Road to Unfreedom, just because that he thinks that Ivan Ilyin is like the greatest like mastermind, big brain, more than Dugin, for what influences Vladimir Putin, and it's just like I was reading through it, and I'm just like, man, this guy has got a interesting case to say the least, but also at the same time, like, whoo, man, what a wild trip to go through to read all these other quotes by Ilyin. That I definitely want to read like the whole screed that it comes from because he says some based things, although and very much anti-Western, so I have to take it with a certain grain of salt. But like that exists, like and he just tweeted 6 minutes ago, all we need for peace in Ukraine is for Russian soldiers to return to Russia. Ironically, Sumatra Mitra, he's in a mutual of mine, but I follow him because I think he's a good IR historian person. He reviewed it and he was just like, oh, this book is like his attempt to make Russiagate the how we got to here kind of story.
Yeah, of course.
So nevertheless,
there's an alliance of like based Western conservative types that support Trump and the Russians and blah, blah, blah. Like I know, like, I mean,
some of that is true. You can't negate that. Here, you want a spicy take for the evening? Isn't it weird that both Pizzagate and Russiagate are real?
Yeah. Well, that's how can you?
Do people take Russian money? Yeah, they have in the past. Are there Russian influence campaigns to affect things? And do you see that through things like the churches, through other movements to strive to like weaken like this strange sort of like American positions on things? Yeah, those do exist. But also, do we know that like the CIA and the intelligence community are full of pedophiles? Yeah. Yep. What a wild world where both of these are true.
Look at your chat logs.
Yeah.
That's, like this is, I would think if you read the recent Rufo leaks, which I guess maybe JD Vance or whoever, someone else gave it to him, and you read like the finders, that's like, you'll see what I mean when you read them together. You know what I mean? Like there's something going on.
Bad. It's awful.
It's terrible.
And also at the same time, some FBI whistleblower just told, what's that dude's name? Schellenberger? That, Jeff something.
Jeffrey Schellenberger?
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. That apparently they are deleting files at the FBI right now related to Epstein and the JFK assassination.
Oh boy.
What a wild time.
I wonder why. No, but
oh man.
Yeah, what?
I'm just what is this? Trump announces, sorry, we're breaking news, I guess, as we do this now, which I'm sorry. President Trump announces a new gold card program where wealthy individuals can purchase U.S. residency and a pathway to citizenship for $5 million. The initiative aims to replace the EB-5 investor visa program, focusing on attracting affluent foreigners who are expected to invest in America, create jobs, and contribute economically. The program is set to generate up to $5 trillion if 1 million cards are sold, helping reduce the national deficit. No!
No, don't do this.
No!
Please, God.
God, no. Trump, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Every Brahmin and Chinese embezzler is going to come to America instead of Canada.
No.
Oh, this is bad.
You need to set that to like 5 billion. No.
Yeah, set it to 5 billion. Yeah.
U.S. citizenship is worth way more than $5 million. Get
Look
out
what
of here.
Tuki posted in the chat. I can't say that on YouTube.
We got a cash for Chinkers program. That's so good.
Oh, that's so great. Yeah. Oh, that's terrible.
Hey, look, the other shoe dropped.
Fell for it again award. No, I think
I want my
again,
waifu
probably, like,
only
one
policy.
good thing Trump does, he does something stupid, and it's like, I think, like, we have to be men enough to admit that we can't just emphatically worship people that are mere mortals. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, yeah.
As I've said before the election, and then I've said after the election, no, put not your trust in princes and the sons of men in whom there is no salvation. And even like the left-wing Tennessee holler was like, the grift goes on, the USA is now QVC.
Look at Charlie. He said, "Make it 5 billion, but implant a bomb in their heart."
I need this. It needs to be like the not honest hearts. It needs to be like the Sierra Madre DLC from Fallout New Vegas,
or like Blade 2 with the bomb implant.
Yeah, that's literally what I need. Is going to be effing. Yeah, it needs to be like the Sierra Madre. What was it? Dead Money, the Dead Money DLC,
Dead Money.
Where you wake up and it's like, listen, if you can survive and if you can somehow get to the vault of America at Fort Knox and learn to let everything go, we will disable the explosive collar around your neck, and you have earned U.S. citizenship. As you can see around you, many have tried, but many will not survive. Can you make it to the heart of the Fort Knox Federal Reserve Treasury bonds? If you can make it, Ranjish, you too can become an American. Good luck. Goodbye.
That was a guy. He did that in like 2004.
I need the Dead Money DLC. Needs to be our immigration policy. You get in, you can save dogs, save the ailing lesbian, and save Dean Domino. Then we can consider your citizenship.
Wasn't there a guy? There was a guy in like 2004. He like voluntarily put on this like bomb collar around his neck to like rob a bank or something like that, and then they like exploded it on him on national television. Man, what was his name? I gotta look this up. The exploding collar guy. But
I think I'm literally gonna just go tweet that out. U.S. gold card immigration, but it's set to Dead Money DLC difficulty.
Whenever they do something anti-American, it's like boop. That's
Better go delete that tweet, Johnny.
The Pennsylvania Turnpike was paid for by a wealthy Chinese family who got a citizenship by investment program. Well, yeah, I mean, I think like it's one of those theories that sound. It's about letting go player.
Player mod AV carry weigh 10 million.
But like that's the thing. It's one of those plans that sounds really good to like lolberts and like normie conservatives, but. 5 million is a bit steep to get an Asian wife, but it's one of those things that like
it's so bad.
It's such a moral hazard. You're letting in like subversive foreign billionaires to get American citizenship. It's like there's so many things that could go wrong. Like look, like for as much as Trump is pouring scorn on, well, rightfully so, on Justin Trudeau being a loser and a failure. He actually said that with the
he's a loser. He's a failure.
Brian
Kilgi, state. Just kill me.
Yeah, Brian Kilgi. He said that Justin's kind of a nice guy, but he's a real loser. And it's like just like a high school bully jock, Like it's true though. But the thing is, if Trump is, we
live in Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah, it's like reverse Revenge of the Nerds.
No, I mean the nerds are still running things.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Now the jocks are gonna get their revenge. But the point being is that if Trump is going to like pour scorn rightfully on Justin Trudeau, he should learn by Canada's example to see like what the problem is when you let people with a lot of money from foreign hostile regimes who are basically trying to hide that money by giving them essentially de facto citizenship, or at least the ability to manipulate Canada's things like the housing market. And so it's like, I don't know, man. Like that is a terrible decision on Trump's part. I gotta say, it's not.
I agree.
Yeah. You could tell that Elon Musk probably thought about this. Like, let's be real. You know what I mean? Like that's.
Where's my, like, mischievously scheming court vizier Stephen Miller telling him that this idea's retarded?
Trump,
Miller, do your job,
buddy. Yeah, buddy. I think
buddy.
this
You can't
idea is
press the
retarded.
button for more poison like Laffy Taffies until you sign this executive order that says you can't do that.
Trump, I love you, but this idea is retarded. Don't let Musk do this. Don't let Trump listen. I know you like the guy. Don't let Musk do this. There's a lot of subversive foreigners. Yeah, I guess you're right, Steven. I guess you're right.
You're a good guy, Steven.
You're a good
Pretty
guy,
cool.
Steven. Vance's giant heart production.
Oh no.
I listen, I lied. I am JD Vance.
You sound
And,
nothing like him, and your wife is not Indian.
Yeah.
You're not even married.
Yeah. And no, but like I am JD Vance, and I was listening to the 13th Step album by A Perfect Circle in my room late at night while my mother was. Never mind. I'm not going to get into that. I can't do a JD Vance. Like I can't even begin to do a JD Vance impression. That's not. I wonder if Scott Greer can do a good JD Vance.
Scott Greer does great voice impressions. I will
Yeah.
give that to him. So, as we complain or as we react live on the air, I guess that's a good transition to discuss some of the things that I wanted to read this evening before I decided to scroll through Twitter while live on the air. What
He
a
puts up
terrible
good front.
He puts up a good front. Yeah, he does.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
pull up,
Pull up.
terrain,
Pull up.
terrain.
Yo,
So
me
now
and my old man, we used to watch Mayday. You know that show on Discovery, Mayday? And I remember I was used to joke, like not joke, but well, I guess joke. I wonder how many like people have died hearing that voice. Like that's the last voice they've heard is the auto-generated pull up. Like
well, it only plays in the cockpit.
yeah. How many pilots have died listening to that voice?
Well, you can go on YouTube and like there's like some black box, last
Yeah.
moments where like you
It's
can listen to
terrible.
these morbid realities, and some of them are pretty bad. Where it's
What
like
was the 9/11 one that failed? What was it called? Flight 93?
93, the one in Pennsylvania. Well, they also had phones on there, so you have these like really heartbreaking phone calls of like husbands calling their wives for the last. That's a whole other story.
Yeah.
The
Didn't they
Great
say, like,
Stout
let's do this
Shady.
thing
I
or
love this
something?
name. This is great.
The Great, what is it?
The Flight 911. Well, way to go.
The Great Stout Shady.
The Great Stout Shady. Yeah, the classic mistake of being online while you're online. Thank you, Sex Freakman. Greatly appreciate it.
Sex Freakman. What a name. Speaking of
I saw that he had basically said that he was gonna like kill somebody for doing a Trump to a Trump impersonator.
Oh man.
Yeah, awful name. Reminds me of that track. You know how you were just going off about like that show Mayday? I understand every Canadian has the same there's your human biodiversity lesson for the beginning. All Canadians share that innate Norm Macdonald kind of intonation when it comes to comedy or telling a story.
Yeah, true. This is true.
Mm.
Do you think Flight 93 was shot down? I don't. Probably not.
I don't know. I don't have an answer to that because I don't know enough to give you my own thought about it. I think
was that the one that was going to the White House?
That's the one that was brought down in the Pennsylvania field. Probably going for the White House. I don't remember off the top of my head. See, I feel so bad. I've forgotten. They tell you to never forget.
Well, you were only like 5 years old at the time, so.
Yeah, but I mean, it hasn't been like permanently ingrained into my brain for the last like 25 bloody years. Anyways.
Yeah, true.
Blocked by Lex Friedman. So true. Actually, I'm not blocked by Lex Friedman. I've had that account muted ever since the whole book summer reading list that he had like a couple years ago.
Oh God.
So now I'm going to get to this article because as we're talking about, being bitching on the internet and being quote unquote niche micro internet e-celebrities, there's this article from Wired I saw, and this came out December 27th. So this is a couple months old. I wanted to read it just because I thought this would be, I think it's important for us to look at where normiedom is going and where political media is going.
Who's the guy in the front?
That's a great question. I have no idea who the black guy in the front is. It's not Larry Elder. I have no idea who that is.
Okay, there's Joe Rogan,
There's
Theo
Joe
Vaughn.
Rogan, Theo Vaughn.
Who's the woman?
I have no idea.
She...
For all I know, that's Radfem Hitler. I have no idea. That's Radfem Hitler, everybody. There you go.
No, it's not Rad. It looks kind of like Ivanka Trump.
Chat, you can tell us who these people are.
Yeah, who are
I
those?
presume you're more in
guys?
touch with the real world than I am.
Yeah.
So, anyways, after years of sitting on the sidelines, content creators became a part of the mainstream political media this year, delivering election news analysis and political commentary to their online fans, all while sidestepping the traditional press. Bro, where have you been for like the last 15 years?
Last 25 years.
We've been talking about disintermediation on the right wing for like 15 years. There's a whole, like, Nick Land writes about this in his Xenosystems blog from like 15 years ago. Where have you been? I mean, not 15 years ago, at least 10 years ago. But still, where have you been? Where have you been? 81-year-old Joe Biden was serenaded on camera by the delightfully cringe, delightfully devilish Seymour, delightfully cringe Harry Daniels. Bernie Sanders stumped for Kamala Harris on a Twitch stream co-hosted by an anime catboy VTuber. Kill me now.
Which one?
I don't know. I'm not clicking that link.
Not Pippa Pipkin. Oh, Catboy.
Gio, why do you know these things?
No, I only know because my friend Hero is into like these anime VTubers.
The only VTuber I know is Patrician TV.
No, but like, okay, a Catboy, so it's not Pippa Pipkin or what's the other popular one? The Guru-Ga, the shark one, the shark girl.
Delightfully cold, Gio.
There's this one. Do you know that Jelly House remix of Mr. Brightside, Mr. Rizside? There's this like VTuber that did the anime girl version of Mr. Rizside.
I just know Mr. Rightside by the Red Pillars.
Oh, that's a real song. Oh man, that's crazy. I'm such a millennial. I was listening to Mr. Brightside the other day.
I'm referencing like alt-right 1.0 racist parody music, but yeah, that too. Not very influential.
We're gonna get Walt Bismarck on the show.
No! 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 No!
Oh man!
If I die, he can be your new co-host.
Oh god.
Mr. Rice Side, and it's just a Chinese cover band.
That would be an interesting mix, though, if it was me and Walt Bismarck. That could be something.
I'll let you think about that, Gio. I'm gonna keep reading.
Right.
Kill me, please. Donald Trump collabed with...
Anime Catboy. I'm curious, which anime Catboy?
I don't know. Go look it up. No, I'm not clicking. I'm on archive.today. I don't know where that's going to take me.
Bro, where's your pocket? What's in your pocket? Just come on, show me. Show me.
I'm opening it in a new tab. I hate you.
What's in your pocket, bro? No, come on, you can tell me.
With a Catboy YouTuber. Although the Twitch... Oh, really? A VTuber, and then on a call with some liberal... let's see here. It was a Pokemon Twitch stream featuring Bernie Sanders and friends, Ray Sticuno, and Austin. No idea who any of those people are.
No idea. I only know
Tells
Pokemon.
You how out of touch I am.
Yeah.
Donald Trump collaborated
Pokemon
with horror.
I think I asked this on the show. Like, what do these people do? They play video games while they stream?
Horror. Next.
Okay, let's.
Donald Trump collabed with the quintessential creator brothers Jake and Logan Paul. Instead of making time for traditional sit-down interviews with the mainstream press, Harris and Trump relied on creators to galvanize voters to spread their campaign messages.
Yeah, Trump with Aiden Ross. Yeah.
I mean, it was really true for Trump especially, Trump and Vance on the podcast circuit. If anything, this was like the most Gen X election imaginable. Well, I mean, they were talking to Gen Xers. I mean, Tucker Carlson.
And they were talking to Zoomers. Trump went with Aiden Ross.
Yeah, you're speaking to Gen Xers and you're speaking to older millennials that listen to podcasts. And then what was the Kamala Harris campaign doing? They were going to Twitch and they were going to Zoomer Twinks, begging people who'd never vote to please vote.
And that girl podcast, what's it called? The
Call Her Daddy.
Call Her Daddy, yeah. I was gonna say Girls Chat, but no, Girls Chat.
Girls Chat.
Lives immortally.
Speaking of which, I recall our friend Bog Beef telling us that account, Call Her Daddy, has not been tweeting since the election.
Whoa!
It has not tweeted since the election.
Kind of like Swan Marcus.
Literally the last tweet that they had was Vice President Kamala Harris episode out. Watch now, October 6th, 2024. That was the last tweet that this is put out.
It was a psyop.
What created account created June 2018? Insane.
Man.
Insane. No posting since then.
That's good.
Wild.
Imagine getting owned that hard.
Owned, followed by Josiah Lippincott. Love you, Josiah. Great man. We need to have him on the show one of these days.
Oh,
yeah. Call her daddy holy Foyd slop.
Apparently it was like less sloppy in the beginning. It was actually like, like the Cool Girl podcast where they swore and talked about their sex lives and
so Sex in the City, but for millennials.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. It was like a Barstool Sports affiliated thing.
Was it affiliated with Barstool Sports?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Cringe beyond belief.
There was this. It used to be a team.
Let me die.
But then, like, the Cool Girl left of the show, and then it was just like the blonde woman that, like, sold out to the DNC.
Did Trump go on? Red Scare? No.
He only met Dasha and Anna, but he didn't go on Red Scare. I think Dasha was trying to work a deal, but it just didn't work. I guess
I'm now going to speak something into the ether. I want to know if we could get anyone from the administration on the show.
Well, apparently a guy that was doxxed. I shouldn't say this in public, but there was an account that followed both of us that was actually working in the administration. So I think he was like in charge of deportations or something. I don't know. I forget. But I'm not going to say the account, obviously, because I don't want to give any traction to these Antifa people. But I wonder if we could. I know that you talked to Jeremy Carl. Wasn't he in the Trump administration?
He was in the first one. I don't know if he's got an actual job in the Trump administration now. He's a senior fellow at the Claremont Institute, worked in the Interior Department when he was in the first Trump admin. I don't think he has a job now.
Yeah. Well, we probably could. Who do you think? There's got to be someone adjacent to us that works with Trump, or at least indirectly. I wonder. Huh.
All right. Well, I just posted that out into the ether. We'll see what happens.
Let's
see. There's just no value with respect to my colleagues in the mainstream press in a general election to be speaking to the New York Times or speaking to the Washington Post because those readers are already with us, as Rob Flaherty, deputy campaign manager for Harris, told Semaphore in December. That's also very true. Influencing has grown into a $250 billion industry. It's a big club.
Oh, boy.
We're in it. With whatever tiny percentage we have, send those super chats. We're in it. We're in it, Gio. We've made it. We're in the big leagues now, boy.
Can we hit the goal?
Dear God. More than 70% of Americans between the ages of 18 to 29 say they follow an influencer on social media, Pew Research survey found last year. A more recent survey published in November of 2024 found that 1 in 5 American adults get their news from news influencers. That shift in media consumption was met with record spending on creator partnerships. Outpouch.com/prude. Priorities USA put at least $1 million towards influencer marketing. The Harris campaign paid at least $2.5 million in management agencies that book creators for political advertising campaigns. Listen, if Gio, no, this is an act. I believe that number wholeheartedly. I believe that number. If you're a lefty, or if you're like even normie with like kind of left-wing adjacent default Democrat opinions, and you have a talent agency, and someone said, "Hey, man, like, we'll send in like a couple $100,000 bonus or whatever, or something nice to your contract if you interview Kamala Harris." Yeah. You don't think you're going to take that? What did we say? What did we say at the beginning of the show 119 episodes ago? If we were in it for the money, we'd be libtards.
Oh yeah.
If we were in it for the money, we'd be libtards. This election, creators were everywhere. The Republican and Democratic conventions, fundraisers, rallies, and even parties at Mar-a-Lago. But the foundations for this creator takeover of political messaging were propped up nearly a decade ago. In 2016, Trump showed how social media platforms like Twitter could influence voters. Throughout the 2020 election, New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg spent more than $300 million on a presidential campaign that recruited influencers and meme pages as paid digital surrogates, and the Biden admin routinely invited creators to White House for briefings.
That's crazy because, like,
It's that boy Gary Johnson. You remember that? You want to feel old for a minute? You want the old Giga Chat to pop up on screen?
It's
only that boy.
There was only one guy who, oh my god, that boy was actually a psyop to try to destroy Pepe. You know that, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, but so there was only like one guy that was like ironically posting Michael Bloomberg memes, and that was Delicious Tacos, because like he would like take like these hot like Instagram models and he just like would plaster like vote Michael Bloomberg on top of them. Like he spent that much money and like nobody cared. Like who cares about Michael Bloomberg? It's not really a good return on investment.
You know, it's a bad return on investment when you spend $300 million just to get bitch slapped by Elizabeth Warren. Will you do away with those NDAs? It's like the non-disclosure agreements. You can't do anything about it. And it's just like, da, 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 da. And it's just like, no, what are you doing? No. You're going to get owned by Elizabeth Warren. Like, you should just like jump off a bridge. What are
money
you
well
doing?
spent. Yeah, jump off the Empire State Bridge. What's okay, there's a few famous bridges in New York. What's the big one? The
Brooklyn Bridge?
Brooklyn Bridge, yeah. Like
all your friends dropped off the Brooklyn Bridge. Would you do it too? I don't know. How much money?
Was it $100 million or $300 million? I don't know.
Gio isn't doing it for the money. He's doing
He's doing it for the dookie. Oh god. I did it all for the nookie. What? The nookie. And you can take that cookie.
And remember, if you give a mouse a cookie, this is how you end up with extremists in the White House.
It's funny because we talked about Limp Bizkit last episode.
We sure did. Good Lord. Elizabeth Warren is that guy from The One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest who screams about his cigarettes. I scream about my cigarettes.
Oh my god.
I scream about my cigarettes. It's over for me. Thank you, New Glove.
I love when you put the sink, the water fountain through the window.
Gio, you can make a podcast where you exclusively interview Celeb of the Week Efoids. Call it Coomberg.
With Barry
and
Weiss,
instead of your Rolodex, you would call it the Coom Dex. It'd be a great time.
I'll get like Sun Swoon one week. I'll get Annie Slats the next. I'll get RFH. I'll get maybe even like maybe we could invite Bronze.
Welcome to another episode of Foid Chat.
Yeah. No, Girls Chat, was actually pretty good. I gotta okay, not that I endorse.
What were you doing there?
Like, not that I endorse transsexual dominatrixes, but like, Girls, they had some good interviews. I gotta admit, Girls Chat was all right.
Vice President JD Vance, whatever alt you follow me on, ban this man from this stream. Ban this man.
Well, they're already waging war in Canada. So,
ban him. Send him to Gitmo.
JD Vance is going to give me $5 million.
He's going to send you to Gitmo.
Just so he could have the gold option and then get sent to Gitmo as an American citizen.
Oh, so true. Back to reading.
Do you think JD Vance listened to an episode of Girls Chat back in the day?
Kill me.
All right.
Imagine being the vice president of the United States and scrolling through your Twitter feed and there's just like a George Droid meme coin video playing.
Yeah, did you see the one where I think what's that account on Instagram? I can't believe Instagram still lets them post. It's called YouTubers. They make the George Droid ones, and there was like one where
they have a whole YouTube account with like 50,000 subs. Yeah. It's literally called George Droid.
Yeah.
Imagine living through all of 2020 and the billions of dollars of property damage and all of the gold-plated caskets and the absolute idol worship, instead of the golden calf, it was literally the golden casket of a dead criminal, and all of a sudden, the only lasting legacy of George Floyd is George Droid and AI integrated Negro tech. Like, imagine thinking about that 5 years ago. I want you to go back to 5 years ago and think about that.
There was one where he was
in the future, the legacy of George Floyd is not the gold-plated caskets. It's not the knee. It is a police officer who did his job, who is rotting in prison as a political prisoner. And it's literally just like some meme coin. That's it. That's it.
Look at Sex Freak Men. I'm Gio with my co-host Georgina Floyd, and our guest today is We could get Georgina Rose on the podcast.
All the George Floyd creepypastas, yeah. And also, apparently, this is the anniversary of Aaron Bushnell's self-immolation.
It was already a year anniversary?
It's been a year. Well, it's not like the war hasn't been going on since, what, October 7th?
Yeah.
2023?
October 7th, yeah, 2023.
Yeah.
It felt like yesterday. Like, time is accelerating. But did you see the George
Yeah, today, February 25th, 2024, 25-year-old service member of the United States Air Force set himself out fire.
Well, you know, Ren had a good tweet about, like...
Well, he had a whole article about it.
Yeah, because the Chris Rufo leaks, how you do have, like, these subversive Antifa types and, like, the intelligence agencies and in the military. And a lot of them... Well, you know, like, a lot of Iraq war veterans, unfortunately, when the ones that didn't, unfortunately, you know, suffer from PTSD and, you know, took their own lives, there were a lot of them that did become, like, far leftists. Like that's such a weird phenomenon. Like, millennials that went to war, they either became, like, literal, like, far right Wignats, or they became, you know, or they fell apart, or they became, like, you know, they took certain hormones, like, you know, like the John Brown Gun Club types. A lot of those people are, like, Iraq and Afghanistan war veterans.
Correct.
I was going to mention, like, the George Floyd one where he's on the face of Mars and he's got to get the fentanyl. But anyways, that's stupid. No, but there is.
But I mean, like, imagine going back 5 years ago to explain that to somebody. Listen, the only record of this entire time is going to be a photo of Nancy Pelosi with, like, the afro-colored sash on her knees, and then also George Floyd is going to be memorized as, like, a reincarnated RoboCop hybrid, where everyone just uses him as a mimetic device to insert, like, edgy black guy into meme. That's it. And oh, by the way, Derek Chauvin is a political prisoner and should be freed.
Yes. I hope he gets pardoned.
He should be. He's a political prisoner. Yeah, Malcolm SpaceX. That's
Malcolm Space.
So good. And I mean, Aaron Bushnell won't even get a meme coin.
One of my favorite Twitter accounts is Blacks. You know, Afro NRX. Not Afro NRX he follows, but I mean, like, you know, Blacks, like, his name is Accelerate NRX.
Oh, yeah. The BLA/ACC. Yeah,
I love that guy. I love
he's
him
in
so
order
much,
chat.
Man. Yeah, I love him. The best, his pin tweet is, you know, like, imprim N-words hate acceleration. What is it? White boys hate acceleration. White boys love Pine Tree Twitter because they can't accelerate like real, you know, insert the word. Yeah. I'm not like Dimes. I'm not going to drop it on air.
I like how you edit the last episode, but there's like a 5-minute tirade in episode 119 of you trying to find out where he lives.
I think I have a suspicion
that stays. That stayed in the show. That stays in the show. But, you know, reading the super chats where some jokes get said, that's far. It's okay. The episode uncensored is available if you know where to find it.
Yeah. Anyways, I hate that I have to upload physically to Odyssey now. I think I'm just going to start a Rumble if I have to do that.
It's very frustrating.
Yeah, fucking YouTube, with the anti-competition shit. But anyways, so by embracing creators, politicians have started blurring the lines between talking heads and journalists. Yeah, but that's always happened. Like, anyways, unlike reporters,
and most of them are already affiliated or get like bylines with mainstream press publications.
Well, it's funny because Trump is gutting that press pass thing where like CNN had to like clear out their janky office in the White House.
No, it was in the Pentagon.
Oh, it was in the Pentagon. Yeah. But like, that's what I mean. Like, there's been trading influence, like literally forever. I mean, even you could go back to World War II. You could even go back, like, if you really wanted to, you could go back to the 19th century with a lot of these firebrand publications that had connections to various politicians. And, you know, this has always happened. I mean, it happened in ancient Rome. Come on. But by embracing creators, politicians have starting blurring the lines between talking heads and journalists. Unlike reporters, news creators are often not beholden to editorial standards and substantial fact-checking, which is, I mean, is there really such a thing as fact-checking objectively? No. It's another power knowledge thing. It's just, anyways. This is Wired Magazine. Wired Magazine used to be a quality publication, but I think
Sure
Trump
did.
broke their brain. No, but go up. I wasn't.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Fact checking something that is a high profile defamation lawsuit away from changing that for now marks a difference. Many creators do work similar to what do work similar. Oh, sorry. That's kind of worded funny. Many creators do work that is similar to what journalists do, absorbing, translating, and communicating news to audiences online. But in the online political ecosystem, many of them come off more as fans than as objective observers.
That's very true.
I mean, yeah, come on, yeah. So, but you don't think like Chris? What's the guy's name? Chris Hayes, the young Martin Sheen face guy.
Yeah, Chris Hayes, the guy who used to work at MSNBC.
Yeah, like you don't think he's a fucking cheerleader? You know what I mean?
Well, he gets paid to be a cheerleader. It's different for influencers. I mean,
yeah.
Well, that's not true. To some extent,
of us do it for free.
Some of us do it for free. Some of us
are paid.
Some of us get paid. Some of us do it for free. Some of us do it out of a conscious decision, out of, I guess, morals or principles. But like,
yeah,
his job is to be. That's his whole job.
Yeah,
his whole job is to be a liberal activist. I mean, that's the thing about influencers is that it's just a different form of activism.
Yeah,
it's just activism.
But it's activism that is decentralized away from legacy publications that have essentially had to hide
or given the impression to be non-centralized.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the USAID thing, I'm not saying that like everyone we know got paid by USAID or whatever, because you can look up the receipts. We're not retarded. But like the implication is like, oh, a lot of this stuff was astroturfed.
Yeah. No, and that's what I mean. Like, that's why I say that the left has essentially gone through a neoliberal turn, or rather, the real implications of what you can say about it, a term like transnational progressivism, is that they're very much, because of the USAID thing, they're very much coming out as being more honest with what they actually want and what they actually were doing, and cheerleading institutions that the left of, say, maybe 20 years ago even would have found abhorrent. Like even Vaush saying, and I only saw this because the Kino Casino clip, Vaush saying like the US is giving up a massive amount of soft power. Yeah, but like I don't have to fucking read David Graeber. I don't have to read, I don't have to read David Harvey to know that these people for many years said you hated that about the American empire, but now you love it. It's incredible, right?
Because it affects all of my enemies, and it's based.
Yeah.
It's like you've noticed that lately, like commies and everyone else, like it's really within like the last 3 years. They're using the word base now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
I've
like
seen trans people say that.
Yeah, they're like, it's based. It's based. And it's like, no, you don't pass. And just like you don't pass in real life, you don't get that word. No pass. No, thank you.
One of the best tweets I
ever saw. Do not pass recently. Go. Do not collect $200. Do not collect your estradiol or whatever. Like, no, thank you.
Yeah, go straight to jail.
Go straight to jail.
One of the best tweets I ever saw today was by Nightmare Efsler, where he said that this is the ultimate. I think he was quote tweeting Sean McCarthy or someone like that. No, he was quote tweeting another like low B irony leftist, where he said this was the ultimate legacy of Bernie bros and Bernie. People that were too cowardly to become like tankies and MAGA communists and just like actually state what they believe in. Instead, they have to like millie mouth and be like, oh, well, I'm not a MAGA communist. I'm not a tanky. Those people are evil. It's like, fuck off. Like you're just, like you can't even have the conviction of saying that you want the chuds in camps.
Well, I mean, this is the irony leftist is come back in full form because you have like those Evan Loves Worth guys, and you know your career is over when you used to be a beloved right winger and you're retweeting Evan Loves Worth. It's over. Sorry, Pedro.
Sorry, Pedro. It's
I think you were did dirty. I think you were did incredibly dirty.
Yeah.
But no, I did not good. Not a good look.
Nope. No, but that's what I mean. Like, I'm not naming names, but when you get so ass blasted at another faction of the E-right that you're willing to retweet like literal Antifa threads on your opposition, it's like
It's over.
It's over, man. Like what you have no integrity.
It's kind of over.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think but it's more common than you think. Like
I'm
right
sure.
wingers signal boosting Antifa people. Like, I mean, I may not agree with people. I may not say that like their optics are what I would do, but I'm not gonna like do this fucking stupid, cowardly. I denounce. Do denounce Patriot Front. Do denounce this person. Do denounce TRS. Do denounce. It's like no.
You reject the
I
devil
can,
and all his works and all his servants and all his pride, but it's just been replaced with whatever faction you don't like for the day.
Exactly. And so it's like I may have a disagreement with someone on tactics, on what you should focus on, but to go out of your way and be like, oh yeah, those Antifa people doxing and trying to ruin people's lives, that's based. Because I don't like those people. They don't like me, but it's like, fuck, man. Like, anyways, let's not talk about, it's just, I think it's very unfortunate that a lot of people actually don't have, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, like, I'm not going to lie. There's been some shit I've seen for people that I don't like in this thing of ours, but there's a difference between like lurking something and reveling and whatever, and like actually going out of your way to participate in drama and fucking backstab people. And it's, you know what I mean? Like, I think that people can be men. This is why
I do not embrace drama.
Yeah. No, because like I think like a lot of people, unfortunately, even people that I like, even people that I'm friends with, I know that if I were to make a big deal, he's probably a 5G. There was a great.
He is. I will say this though: that account, not because of like right wingers quote tweeting it, but I don't know how you can't ever really gauge how organic. You can't engage. You cannot. I can't say that it has. What's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't have. You can't ever really gauge organic metrics on Twitter or anywhere really.
Right.
But that guy does get incredible reach.
Well, whether it's botted or not.
I mean, there's plenty of guys I'm sure on our side that bot shit, but like,
oh yeah,
incredible reach. Is it organic? Probably not. Is there? And how much of this is organic to begin with is questionable because of how the algorithm is. But like, I can't say it's like 5D chess or whatever, but I can give it credit for simply saying, oh, there very much is a game that's being played here, and some of these old lefty strategies still work.
Yeah. I mean, he is a hideous mutant freak. But
and even if it's a right wing guy playing it out, then even better. And I hope that whoever decided to make the Evan Loves Worf account to be a right winger playing as like a dirtbag lefty, I hope you bring home the bank. Yeah, I respect the grift, and if that's true, or
maybe he's like collecting receipts in group chats, that'd be even more hilarious.
There you go.
Sending them to the leftoid group chats, being sent to the FBI for pizza related activity. No, but there was a tweet by Minegarten Isles by Fraser Payne. He said, I have created multiple leftist Twitter accounts to sow division among their ranks. They do this to you. Just, be aware of that.
No, that is true.
Yeah. It's easy. It's not as easy because I noticed a lot of Antifa people. Here's how it works, okay?
For $500 and making multiple alts that are verified. Yeah. It can be done.
But here's how it works. Here's how Antifa doxes people. Okay? Apart from me, like I'm a face lord and I have my real whatever, who cares? Whatever. But here's how it works. It's not that they have like what they want you to think. What they want right-wingers, like people like Travis Brown, what they want right-wingers to think is that they're like elite hackers, like anonymous, and that they're going like if you fuck up and like kind of like how Stone Toss got doxed because he used an old email. Like, okay, that's real, okay? But 9 times out of 10, it's not that they're gonna go out of their way to see that you have like an email that you used on a personal account that you created your Twitter account with or whatever. Here's the reality of it, the real blackpilling reality, especially when it comes to big networks, which I will not name, is that other right-wingers that are pissed off at you, they give them information. And of course, they're never going to reveal their sources because that means they're not going to get any more
Well, yeah,
information.
you have to come up with a viable story for parallel construction.
Yeah, and so often when you have faction wars, people that are in inner circles, they get pissed off enough to where they will literally email Antifa people receipts of who you are in real life. That's how like I know, like, for a fact, there's certain like networks of right wingers, some of which I don't exactly agree with or support, but they got fucked because there are people in them that got pissed off at somebody, and that's how it works. Don't think that these people are like, maybe some of them were connected to the NSA or whatever, or some of them were being paid off by some like Soros or USAID affiliated apparatus. But 9 times out of 10, these like low B dysgenic Antifa freaks, the reason they get to dox people is because of faction wars among the right wing online. That's nine times out of 10. That's how they get info. And so just be aware of that. And it's a tragic reality, but it's the truth. I know people personally that have been doxxed because they got into a disagreement with somebody. I have friends of that nature who have been doxxed because of that. And they can't like really go out in public and make a crusade about it because, of course, you can never prove it because these Antifa people are never going to gloat about it. But, you can guess, put it that way. There's just enough plausible deniability. And it's that's the way it works. And, if maybe things turn and if you were so brave and you had a lot of optical skills where you could hide your identity, I mean, maybe if you can go and pose as a leftist and infiltrate their group chats and see what they're doing, that's just an idea, I'm too
for my
tech-unsavvy
friends,
to do that.
everything. For my enemies, psyops.
Yeah. Gio, are you telling me to just be a heckin' nice person? Well, no, I'm telling you that. But like J4,
You should fake being one so you can get dirt on your enemies.
Yeah. What I'm telling you, J Ford, is that I think that you should never let disagreements with people that 99% of the time share your beliefs, online especially, never let those things get in the way of the greater mission. If you find yourself to the point of leaking info to Antifa because you hate somebody and you know their real identity, you have to like really question, okay, is this hurting my beliefs and hurting the cause of my beliefs, or is it going to hurt people in general, or is it really I'm getting one up on this person that I hate? You know what I mean? Like, I think we all have to sort of look in the mirror one day.
Yeah, the spurned lover syndrome has led to more doxing and more lives being ruined on the right than a lot of guys.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What if they call me an N-word? I mean, well, I've been called that, I've been
called that to my face by people I've met on the internet. I think you'll be okay.
You know what's even more disgusting is I know for a fact that people that knew each other in real life who were Anons got doxxed by that person by feeding info to Antifa networks. Like, if you like know somebody in real life and you're willing to like fucking snake them like that, like that's incredible. You know what I mean? Like, just man. Anyways, let's move on. So, but in the online political ecosystem, many of them come off more as fans than objective observers. Some are explicitly party activists. Still, they're often provided access similar to what the traditional press access gets. The next step in the influencer political takeover could be lawmakers. Well, hopefully, because the creators themselves.
I'm sorry, Nancy Mace. Like, I hate to be that guy, but if there was ever a woman that was screaming for male attention and giving all the wrong signals, it's her.
The best was the photo with the pink handcuffs where she's like, "We're locking them up." It's like, no, I wonder what.
Yeah, that's not a tell for what you're really thinking. Or she was posting the lion, like, the lion does not care for the opinion of sheep. And I'm like, wow, I'm so used to seeing, like, the Lion of Judah getting posted instead of, but, like, it was refreshing. Yeah. It's an older meme, sir, but it checks out.
She's a great poster, I gotta admit.
For what she's doing, yes, she's a good poster. I know it's over when we have I know
We
it's
need more
over when we have
sexually
a howling
frustrated.
mutant kind of poster in Congress. When that day comes, it's over.
We had George Santos.
He got impeached or he got voted out of office, and then he was starting drama with like Nick Fuentes like the day after. Wild.
That's
He's
incredible.
like, I'm a gay man. I know a gay man. You're a gay man. And it's just like, I cannot believe that you were ever elected to begin with.
And he like stole a bunch of money from Congress. Oh man. No, we need more sexually frustrated MAGA MILFs. This is what's gonna change things. My opinion. Anyways, let's move on.
So you're telling me you want the housewife from American Beauty to be in Congress?
Yeah. Yeah, or like, Deborah from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Well, I mean, if you were dealing with Ray Romano, I'd be sexually frustrated too.
It's because I was listening while I was driving. I was listening to Dimes and Judas. They had this bit about Ray Romano going to vote. Like, Ray Romano's an army centrist, but he's also a grapist. Like, and they're like, Deborah, I gotta go vote. Like, oh man, that was good.
To be frank, Gio's Italian. This is true. This is just horny. This is all that this is.
No, Nancy Mace is all right. I mean, she's got good body. It's like, it's kind of like Megyn Kelly, right? Like, I mean, like, I don't exactly like the fitness influencer type, but you know what I mean? Like, I like my women more soft, if you know what I mean. But like, I mean,
you like chubby chicks. That's okay.
No, but like, if if you're like in your 50s as a woman and you're living your best life and you're keeping it together and you're a MAGA MILF conservative influencer, I can't fault you for that. You know what I mean?
Anyways, well, I'll take a stand on this show here, Gio. I think that Megyn Kelly is a beautiful woman for her age.
Yeah.
And she could get it.
Oh yeah. It's funny, does Ann Coulter still got it?
No. I don't think she does. I saw her last summer in Dallas. I don't think she's got it.
It's wild that she dated Dinesh D'Souza. That's incredible. I can't.
And now Dinesh D'Souza's daughter is married to Congressman Brandon Gill.
They have a kid together too. Oh, his daughter looks all right.
How old is Brandon Gill?
He's 30.
Oh my God, he's our age.
He's our age, yeah.
Makes me question what I've done with my life. She never had it unless you're Bill Maher.
No, I can't believe Dinesh D'Souza's daughter looks pretty good considering he kind of looks like a gremlin.
I guess I might as well go look up Dinesh D'Souza's daughter.
Yeah, I think she's like a lawyer or a politician, or I forget what
she's married to a congressman.
Yeah, but
Danielle D'Souza.
Yeah, she's like some
married to Brandon Gill. Yeah, Danielle D'Souza Gill. Did she keep her last name? Or no, she just threw his name at the end of it.
Yeah.
They got married in 2017. They have a daughter named Marigold and live in Flower Mound, Texas.
Miracle.
Marigold. Well, I will.
That's a good name.
I'll give Brandon some credit. He did not name one of his kids a different name. Vivek. Oh my God, she's as old as I am.
She kind of looks like Usha Vance.
Well, this means that this is Dixie Brubaker's spawn. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Good to know.
It's crazy how like politicians in America, I guess in Canada, works in Britain too. Like they all end up marrying each other. Like frustrated MAGA MILFs, 2025.
I'm literally gonna post that on Twitter right now.
We need more sexually frustrated MAGA MILFs. Oh man. Anyways. The next step in the influencer political takeover could be lawmakers. The industry has become so fruitful that Republican ex-lawmakers like George Santos and Matt Gaetz turned to creator economy as part of their post-congressional careers. Santos and Gaetz are settling hefty prices for personal messages on video platform Cameo. Elected officials like how did Rush Limbaugh used to do it? Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez and Jeff Jackson also leveraged creator-like tactics in their everyday communications with their constituents and voters. Ocasio-Cortez can often be found answering following questions on how Congress works on what's inside a bill on Instagram Live. Jackson authors a regular Substack newsletter discussing his work in the House of Representatives. Ted Cruz has people listen. Ted Cruz has a podcast. Do people listen to it?
Yeah, he does.
Oh man, I guess they all do. Like, I mean, a lot of those guys, they did start off in talk radio. Like Ben Shapiro has a radio show.
His is just called The Verdict with Ted Cruz.
Oh, that's like
and co-host Ben Ferguson.
His co-host is Ben Ferguson.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Anyways,
how are the viewers? I'm going to YouTube now to go look that up. But go on, keep reading.
Their viewership's pretty heavily astroturfed, I think.
Oh, I'm sure, but I'm still curious.
Yeah, because I mean, I can imagine it does link in with conservative talk radio, you know. So
I'm sure it's on like a network. Yeah.
Yeah. Your candidate needs to become the creator. They need to find their niche and stick to it," said Caleb Brock, a senior digital strategist for Democrats. "We need to find our 2028 presidential hawk to a girl." Oh my god! Like, what are you people doing?
Hawk to the polls.
Go to the polls.
Pokemon, and I mean go to the polls. Oh god, what a great time to be alive!
Can you imagine a leftist talk to a girl that like had a crypto scam? Like,
I know. Imagine, like, go back to 2020 for a moment. I just want to say how wild the last, like, this whole 4 years of Biden has been. That you have the George Floyd shitcoin, deepfake AI meme with like fentanyl reactors. Your popular it girl that rose from fame, girl who talked about oral sex. And oh, by the way, whatever podcast was a thing, and women are talking. And in fact, I'm pretty sure that was a movie called Women Talking.
That was a movie, yeah. That was, I think
that's what we can define the Biden era from 2020 to 2025. Women are talking. Actually, no, the era is not over because, like you just said, we have sexually frustrated MAGA mommies. No, women are talking. 2020 to actually, let's throw it back 5 years. 2015 to say 2030. Women talking. That's the era of this politics.
All the things you say, running through my head. When did Red Scare start? 2018?
That's a great question.
I wonder. Well, anyways, no, that's crazy. Imagine if Olivia Juliana had a crypto scam. Like Hawk 2. Oh, man.
No, March of 2018.
Oh, I was right. You
were right.
Whoa.
You know your e-girls.
Oh, yeah. And I mean that seriously. Whichever candidate steps up and wields their respective genuine personality into something that continuously pumps out content that people want to see, share, and engage with will win. Exactly. That's the basics of the content mindset. Something I learned many years ago. Adopting these tactics could be critical to winning over young voters, millions of whom enter the electorate every 4 years. More than 8 million members of Gen Z, entered electorate in 2024, according to Tufts University. This year, 41 million of them were eligible to vote. The industry hasn't run up against much friction from the federal government either, despite criticism over its opaque nature. Unless you live in Germany, of course. This year, the Federal Election Commission opted against requiring political influencers to disclose where a political group or campaign paid for content on their accounts, because this is such a substantial part now of the information economy and informational ecosystem. It's absolutely vital that there are disclosures. Walk to the polls, says Robert Weissman, co-president of the public interest group Public Citizen. And just as disclosure is a core part of fair advertising law, it's a core part of their fair elections too. How are they going to enforce that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how can you enforce if someone is an influencer that likes a particular candidate, that they're being like paid or whatever? Like, it's just, because like, think of it, you don't know where super chats are coming from. So it's like, I don't know. I guess that's what Tim Pool said with the tenant media thing, right? But
yeah,
like,
I mean that is the
yeah,
danger about sort of that is that you don't know where if you don't know where the money is coming from, that leaves
yeah,
you incredibly vulnerable, and you should always be very skeptical about where you get your money from. I would
yeah.
rather be is independently funded by you people more than I would ever want some random stranger to be like, here's $250,000.
Well,
Because I'm
like,
sorry, what that guy is doing is trying to buy you.
yeah. No, well,
Well,
that's
with
like,
that being said, I need $250,000.
oh yeah, me too. I gotta buy a house one day. No,
Yeah,
but
he's
like,
Canadian. He's gonna need like $250 million.
oh god. Well, that's like the Chapo Trap House. Don't they make like 80K a month? It's like, is that really all organic? Like, I don't know.
Well, that was the end of it. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
there you go.
the other article was just this one from Marketing Brew. It's real quick. I'm gonna just share this tab instead. Are you registered? It was wild when during the election where some guy would send me a screenshot. And he's like, "Prude, I know your channel's monetized, and this last episode of the Digital Archipelago had like a fat black lady talking about the Democrats as an ad." And I'm like, "I'm so sorry. I don't
Oh
get a
man,
choice."
that looks like a Namjoon Pike like display, like a like a art gallery display with all the
Kind of, yeah,
TVs.
just a little bit. Stan culture can be rabid, and shows like RuPaul's Drag Race and Big Brother have stands for days. So why not use it to encourage civic engagement while reaping the brand benefits along the way?
Oh god.
MTV, which has long championed to get out the vote initiatives, is once again leaning into social. MTV, what year is this?
Vote or
Lean-
die. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like Madonna, old and made of plastic. Leaning into social impact campaigns and selection cycles, running campaigns across Paramount properties, advocating for closing the community college voting gap, encouraging early voting, and recruiting poll workers. In the years since MTV first ran voting campaigns on the airwaves in 1992, its campaign methods have modernized. It has gone from seeking to galvanize its audience with mainly via on-air PSAs to reaching potential voters through strategic partnerships with advocacy groups and social influencers and using fandom culture, according to Erica Soto Lamb, VP of Social Impact Strategy for Showtime and MTV Entertainment Studios, which houses brands including MTV, Comedy Central, VH1, and the Paramount Network.
VH1 is still alive.
VH1 is still alive, baby.
Oh,
The
man.
efforts are intended to incentivize voting action while bolstering the company's brand image too. Doing good is good business, Soto Lamb told Marketing Brew. During the last several election cycles, media and consumer brands like HBO and Nike have urged viewers and customers to head to the polls and vote. MTV, though, isn't jumping on get out the vote campaigns because it's trendy to do so. It has been all in on social issue campaigns since its inceptions, according to Soto Lamb. We are a youth culture brand. Pause. Does anyone feel like MTV is a youth culture brand in the year of our
No.
Lord 2025? Or
It's
if
like
you
Gen
want to
X.
be,
It's
yeah,
like
it's
Gen
very
X
Gen
and
X.
aging millennials. Yeah.
Millennials and Gen Xers, which I mean, this was a very Gen X in millennial election. I'm not going to lie, it was.
Yeah.
But does anyone watch MTV? Does anyone watch VH1? Does anyone watch Paramount? Maybe Paramount Plus. I won't judge you.
I think boomers watch Paramount.
Probably.
Oh no, I think like some like millennials. I mean, they do have like John Taffer on. You know.
I like that he is like a bar rescue guy, and he's done marriage counseling, but he's been divorced. John Taffer's hilarious. I think he's a funny guy. He's really I have a good friend IRL who does a really good John Taffer impression. And he's the same guy I was telling you all earlier. He went to law school, deactivated his Twitter account, and still sends me screenshots. And so every Sunday at coffee hour after liturgy, he's doing like John Taffer impersonations of what he saw on his not real timeline, but stuff that comes his way via Discord. It's funny. But yeah, we are a youth culture brand. I remember youth culture.
I remember Headbangers Ball.
Remember
Ronnie Radke. Yeah. Remember Kurt Lauder.
I remember Madonna.
I remember Woodstock.
I remember Bill Clinton on Arsenio Hall. Like the first black president, I had no idea.
Slick Willie, first
Fetch
black.
me my Imodium pills.
The
This blue juice is running through me like hill dog through dead people. But anyways, we are a youth culture, Brandon.
Stealing my teeth. Yeah.
And on so many fronts, from teen pregnancy to LGBTQ rights, race, and mental health, we know that young people move culture forward and are participating in our democratic process is an important part of that.
Oh, what a jerk off.
This guy is just like, we are so important. Just watch me just flop it on the table. So this is embedded in who we are. We've been doing it for more than 30 years. Why do it for so long? Because it feels good. Participating in social impact campaigns is the right thing to do, and it builds affinity with its younger audience. Again,
is transing children the right thing to do? I don't know.
It's embedded in who we are.
No, but like he's saying, like it's the right thing to do, and it's like whatever young. It's like basically is sort of like the worship. I mean, it's not the worship of youth because it's sort of like an aged appropriation of what youth culture is, which is what the boomers have done. But he's saying like, well, there's like this moral obligation we have to like promote voices and choice. Like it's literally the Sam Hyde voices and choices, the Sam Hyde TED Talk. Like,
just getting called a slur.
Oh my God. Participating in our democratic process is an important part of that. Like it's just you're buying influence for libtard political issues. That's what you are. Don't give me this bullshit about that we're encouraging young people to have their voice. Well, what if it's an anime youngin? Do you want that young person to have their voice as well? What if it's Earth Rabbit? What if it's Solion? What if it's Fraser Payne? Do you want? It's like I love this thing about we need young people to be educated,
but no, not like that.
But not like that. Yeah, it's like not like that political participation of young people. It's like it's just so fucking stupid. Remember when Miley Cyrus was naked in a wrecking ball? Yeah, I remember that.
Wasn't she when everyone thought Lady Gaga was a man?
Remember the happening? That's Lady Gaga. Everyone thought Lady
Gaga
how
we're both 85 years old and he's never stopped being horny. God, yeah, stop.
Oh man.
Gio, 1 hour and like 5 minutes ago, who do you think we could get from the administration to come on the show? Episode 120 is ensured that will never happen. Actually, episode 119 probably did that. Actually, no, episode like 5 probably did that. Yeah. But we'll keep going.
What, because they mentioned the MAGA MILF thing?
No. Although I did tweet that out and tagged you in it.
Fuck.
For brands and media properties targeting younger people choosing to stay out of social issues could have serious consequences. According to a 2024 Edelman report, 58% of Gen Z says that if a brand doesn't communicate its actions to address societal issues, they assume it is doing nothing or hiding something.
Fuck.
Don't look up the Pritzkers, kids. MTV's commitment to social impact campaigns has generated plenty of engagement over the years. The company said that its Vote for Your Life campaign, which included a website to help voters check their registration status, create voting plans, and research candidates, racked up 23.3 million views, 1.9 million engagements, 93 million impressions. Nearly 850,000 people accessed the voter support through the campaign. 61% were millennials or Gen Z.
Oh, God.
While MTV is responsible for classic PSA-style campaign ads like Choose or Lose campaign that began in 1992, it turned to other methods to reach young people in recent election years. I remember a lot of their safe sex campaigns that they had done on
I think I remember if you get up to votes. I think I remember Dave Mustaine did one. He went to the DNC, but this was like during the Clinton years. But, I think, Dave Mustaine's like on the political right now, but we need young people to be educated at AMV.
Oh, man, I remember Halo AMV Hell. That was such a good time when Halo 2 came out and you could lower your weapons to do. It was so good.
I love how that one
those are all on Newgrounds still because they've been like erased from YouTube due to copyright issues.
Oh, man, yeah. I remember that one video, that one clip where it was like someone said it. I think it was like a viral tweet, was a comment like this summed up like 2008 in like one image. Or it was like 2005 in one image. And it was, what are those buggies called in Halo?
Mongooses?
Warthogs?
Or the car was the Warthog, yeah.
Yeah, it was two Peter Griffins, like a really low-res photo, and they both had the Halo weapons, and they were on the Warthog, and in the background was that one song by Breaking Benjamin for Halo.
Mhm.
It's like this summed up a whole era.
It really
Family.
did.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Only the strongest will survive.
It was so
Did you
good.
know that Breaking Benjamin, they never toured Europe for like 20 years because the lead singer, he was like afraid of flying? And but I think
Low-key
like,
based. Low-key
yeah,
based.
yeah.
Yeah, Newgrounds still exists, Sean, if you want to feel
Oh yeah.
old.
It had a little revival a year or two ago.
This is why I need $250,000. That's so true.
Our way empty.
Ironically for you, Bill Wilson, that was my friend's name on Twitter for quite
I
some
remember
time, was
John Taffer
John
Groiper.
Taffer Groifer. Yeah,
Yeah. I
he's a
remember
good
one of
friend.
his best tweets was it was what's his name? Skinner. The British guy.
I don't
What's
recall.
he's like, it's gonna be billions. Oh gosh. Like
Oh, yeah.
that was great. Yeah, that was a great John Taffer Groiper tweet. We know that one, leaning into our fandoms, and two, we've entered default friend territory, and two, creating an incentive to be part of a process is meaningful in driving numbers, said Lamb. Our one way MTV has created an incentive is by partnering with Headcount, a nonprofit best known for registering people to vote at concerts, to run sweepstakes for chances to win tickets to some of its popular shows and events, like RuPaul's Drag Race, The Daily Show, and VMAs. This is like, who is this appealing to? Like, from the ages of like
Soy-lennials.
35 to 40? Like, it's and encouraging participants to create voting plans according to Soto Lamb. These contests seem to have paid off. In 2022, MTV's RuPaul's Drag Race sweepstake helped 5,142 people check their voter registration status and resulted in 1,318 people registering to vote. About 56% of the entrants from those sweepstakes were from people between the ages of 18 and 34, according to MTV. And of
So
course, they all
1,318 people who watch RuPaul's Drag Race
they
registered
all
to
voted
vote.
Democrat.
Oh, of
That's
course.
incredible. Like,
Well, I want to imagine that they're like in this one crowd of like one RuPaul's Drag Race fan is like just a diehard like gays against groomers MAGA Republican.
but wait, you watched RuPaul's Drag Race? Yes,
RuPaul is as far as I'll go. These trannies have overdone it and they've overstayed their welcome. My God, I'm voting for Trump.
You know what's funny? You know what's so funny?
They did this in 2016 when they did the whole reunion thing for Will and Grace.
Oh man.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they did that. If you want to feel old for a minute.
You know what's so funny is that the Red Scare Girls actually had a guy on who was an OG drag queen, and he was like gays against groomers. And he was like a Zionist and shit. And he liked Trump, but he didn't like all the social conservative. But he's like, yeah, these like transies are going too far. And it's they were like, it was a good episode. They were talking about the history of drag in New York. It was pretty interesting. But it was like listening to an episode of Kink.
I hate you. I won't forgive you for that.
Oh my God. Let's look at the chat.
I mean, I'll forgive you. I'll forgive you in a week, but not right now.
Oh no! John Waters is kind of based too.
No, he was not. He was never
not.
based. He was never based.
Oh, it was a good episode of the Red Scare. Anyways,
how many of them actually voted though? I think well, that's a good question, Javier. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a fair question.
They all did, like, let's face it, they all voted for Biden. Know your crowd. MTV and Paramount are intentional about the issues they highlight within certain programming to help its audiences see themselves and the things that they care about reflected, Soto Lamb told us. It's not limited to election years either. In response to a spat of drag bans in 2023, RuPaul's Drag Race partnered with oh my God, you want to feel old? The ACLU to create the Drag Defense Fund. Wow, I wonder if they were getting USAIDs, which it aims to educate and activate. Educate and activate.
You gotta educate. You gotta activate. And I'm gonna drag your ass to the polling booth.
That's exactly like the Sam Hyde TED Talk, like voices and choices.
We're just gonna kill them. Yeah, no.
Aim to educate and activate supporters and push
We're
back
gonna
against
aim to educate and to activate. They're gonna learn to mine. And
activate the Discord kitties. Oh boy.
Not now, kitten. Daddy's a shell of his former self.
Oh, against restrictive anti-LGBTQ legislation. In June, Variety reported that in this first 14 months, the fund had helped defend and defeat multiple drag ban laws, ordinances, and more. Yeah, but like where? In like small shitholes? Like where? Like what evidence is there? Like, I mean, maybe Trump could just do like a federal executive order. That'd be funny, eh? Like he already got rid of the oh, did you see the fucking Hunter Schafer bullshit? Did you see that, Prude?
Yes.
Yeah, that was funny. They were like going after this like turf woman and they were like calling her ugly. And it's like these people are like, listen, no like Andrew Tate, like Pua manosphere person could ever hate women on the level that they hate women. It's incredible. But anyways, yeah, for those who don't know, Hunter Schafer is the stupid fucking actor from Euphoria who looks like he kind of looks like Griffith, no, eh? From Berserk, a little bit. Anyways,
still manly, yeah.
yeah, like kind of like a beautiful boy type of deal. You know that Paglia talks about the
Yes,
beautiful
I know.
boy.
I
Yeah,
know.
but like so, Trump did the ban on the sort of like birth. What is it called? Birth gender or whatever, and Hunter Schafer made this like fucking
the sex
stupid
you were
Instagram.
born with, or whatever
Yeah.
they are assigned at birth, or whatever they call it. Yeah, I know that he did the whole meltdown thing about his passport having a male on it.
But
and
it
it's just
doesn't
like
affect me. I don't care about. Don't you know how hard I don't care about this? It's like
screaming to the void of millions of people.
yeah.
And
I
keep in
don't
mind,
care.
Hunter Schafer is the one where they're like, that's supposed to be like your gold standard.
Yeah.
And it's still the uncanny valley. A reminder, you will never be a woman.
Look at Hunter Schafer's like doctored, glamour magazine photos or whatever, and look at that picture of Hunter Schafer next to Sydney Sweeney. Just, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. It's just like, yeah, yaba. You'll never be, Anyways, so we know that there are issues that are important to RuPaul's Drag Race fandom. For example, that we know that we can give the audience an on-ramp to take action. Soto Lamb said, we had a very successful campaign in response to drag bans that made perfect sense for RuPaul's Drag Race show to invite their audience to speak out and play a part in response to drag bans. Well, don't do things like Google RuPaul's friendship with Michael Alga. Don't do that. Do not research Michael Alec and RuPaul and the club kids of the 90s. Don't do that. Do not research. Do not research. So there you go. Anyways, the brand also tries to deploy its social impact calls to action in a way that's mindful of both the brand and its both the brand and its audience. What did Zizek say? He said that you will buy the product and you will get your ethics in the product. Like there you go, like it's true. We find the right ask for the right audience and bring our viewers into creating the chance that we know they want the change that they want to see in the world. So my God, it's incredible. It's the change we want to see in the world, and these people are making multiple millions, if not billions, of dollars. It's like, does Sumner Redstone still on MTV or no? He's dead?
I have no idea. I don't watch television. So this is all
dead.
up in the air for me.
Chat, does Sumner Redstone still exist or no? Anyways.
Please let us know.
In some cases, that means knowing which audiences probably don't need to be targeted with Go TV messaging. Soto Lamb said that the company recognizes that targeting viewers of Comedy Central's The Daily Show with a register to vote message could be a wasted ask, since fans of a political show are likely to already be registered. Well, that's not exactly true. Instead, she said Daily Show viewers were a better target for the campaign Power the Polls, which calls for viewers to sign up to be poll workers. Yeah, poll smokers, more like it. But I had to get that.
That's
in
an
there.
insult people don't use anymore.
Yeah, poll smokers. That was a Hell Yeah song, Pole Rider. It was about, I think it was about strippers.
Wait till you hear the Frank Zappa song about the same subject.
Well, it's because after Pantera, Vinnie Paul, I think he owned a number of strip clubs in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So that's why.
Mm.
Was that the end of the article?
Yeah, that was the end of the article.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I don't think anyone knows where they're going.
No. What's going to happen to these people after Trump, you figure? Like in the next 2 years, even. Like, what's
I
going to happen?
think you have to. Well, I mean, I think we'll find out by the beginning of 26. We'll have an idea because there'll be an election. You have the midterms coming up.
Yeah, the midterms.
The midterms will tell us what the media strategy will be. Something major has to happen from now and then, which can be anything. It can be an economic disaster zone.
Oh, that's likely.
It can be the war.
Mm-hmm.
Wars, really, I should say. Or it could be like a domestic housing crash. It could be anything. I mean, like anything can happen that's really going to be the marketing thing from now. Because I don't think anyone... Because like you had the whole like red wave mirage thing that happened in 2022.
Yeah.
Where we thought we were going to do well and we didn't do as well as we thought, quote unquote.
Yeah, like
I say the we and the royal we.
Yeah, like so she was gloating that Zoomers stole the election from the red wave.
She's on Ozempic now, Olivia Juliana.
Oh shit!
I hope she doesn't go blind.
No, but you remember she was
like something in common with Dan Crenshaw.
These people are like these.
They're the same. By the way, they have the same politics.
Yeah, it's true. Only from like the different angle. Why is Olivia Juliana a Zionist as well?
I don't know what her politics are. She's just not a rightist, and neither is Dan Crenshaw. So by extension, they're the same person.
No, I think she is pro-Palestine. That's probably, yeah.
Her solution is just to eat the strip.
Like, can't these people, like, people will literally do anything besides lift weights. I hate to say it.
Olivia Juliana's solution is just to eat the Gaza Strip.
Oh my God. There's gonna be a strip mall in Gaza. They're gonna turn it into Tel Aviv. They're gonna have a Five Guys in Gaza.
Zoe Quinn will run it.
Yeah, Zoe Quinn. Oh man!
And I'll be sitting there asking for my bacon cheeseburger, and I'm not gonna get it.
I heard Five Guys is overpriced. I've never had Five Guys.
It's overpriced, and I personally think overrated. By the way, I've not been to a Five Guys restaurant since 2018, so don't count me on that. But when I had it, it was terrible. Mooyah Burgers and Shakes is also incredibly overpriced. Slop. Also, keep in mind, the slop discourse is from like 2018 with like food.
Yeah.
So the first time I really saw that word really get used around. And now it's used everywhere. And I partially blame Dave for that. Everyone uses slop.
We need something new. We need a new word. It's like Wojaks and Peppies never went away. They just became something different, you know?
Well, they just evolved. I'm waiting for slop to evolve. Smash Burger is
Smash Burgers are in. Like, it's all over YouTube
I
Shorts.
like the fries.
No, but like the Smash Burger thing, that is like the new, like, you know, like aging soylenial beard wax type of thing where it's like,
I deserve higher quality psyops.
I'm not gonna lie, Smash Burgers are pretty good, but like,
I mean, I like making Smash Burgers.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
There's like a million YouTube short videos on making Smash Burgers and steak and like confit. Remember the confed thing? Confit, whatever.
Yes.
Confit's pretty good, but like, it's just, I don't know. Like, people are going nuts over the Dubai chocolate, where it's like, it's got that like stringy
Another
stuff
thing I had never heard of until my Twitter timeline this morning.
Yeah.
I know you're talking about Smash Burger, the restaurant. It is meh. I like their fries, but making Smash Burgers by hand is much better.
Yeah. No, but like, so it's just like, how do we get in on this conversation, Smash? Oh yeah, Olivia Juliana. No, you remember she was like gloating about stealing the election from the Republicans because of Gen Z or whatever. But even though I think in the future, especially like in places like Canada and the UK, I hate that word UK, but you know what I mean. That younger people will tend towards the political right. What was that one about slop? Go back, Prude.
I think
What's
he's
going
got
to
a
happen?
point.
Slomp.
A
Slomp.
confederacy of retards. Yeah, I agree. Sex freakman. There's going to be a lot of that, and it will be and it won't be with irony. It will be done with pure, unironic intent.
Dubai chocolate sounds bad.
Dubai chocolate sounds like what happens to someone's rectum after spending time there to get money.
Or what they do to the OnlyFans models.
That's what I'm saying. That's literally it. Dubai chocolate is what happens to somebody's. What happens? Literally, what we should call OnlyFans women who go to Dubai for a week. Oh, she got Dubai chocolate. It's over for her.
Don't furries have a word for when like?
I don't want to, Gio. No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this.
No, it's like for when like in the animes where like the loved one, like the protagonist, like they run and they hug the whatever protagonist. It's like they tackle you while they hug you, sort of deal. You know that one? They have a word for that.
Are you just looking for the word pounce?
No,
oh,
it's like
no, I see.
Where you're like
pull up, terrain, pull up, over G, over G, like... over G. No. Bingo, pull up now. I'm not doing this shit. Why am I entertaining that?
I think it's glomp. Yeah, it's glomp.
I hate you. Why?
Yeah. Where like they get it's like you go in for a hug, but the fucking anime girl tackles you. The tsundere like tackles you when they hug you. You know what I mean? Oh god. Anyways, Dubai chocolates with dark elf mixed into bread. Listen, the dark elf bread is unleavenated.
Why do you do this to me?
That's a good one. That's a pretty old anime thing, Gio. Stop talking, Gio. Oh, Sundari, Gio, not Tsundere. Sundari.
That's true. American arbiter Gio is single-handedly keeping the horny American stereotype alive.
Oh man. Oh man.
Gio is the man who stepped up when the Cuomos stepped down.
Gio, we're going into the locker.
She's getting shoved into the locker.
Oh, you could try, but you know. Did you get that joke, by the way? The dark elf bread is going to be leavenated?
Yeah, I knew what you were going for.
Oh, man. Nobody laughs at my jokes.
I agree, TB88. I do.
It's a crystal locker.
It's a crystal locker. You're going in the shadow zone.
Gio speaks for the chronically online among us. That's true.
He is true. He is your best advocate.
Sundari. It's Sundari. Tackleberry. I can't believe like that's such a trope where they like, you know, I don't know,
Shall we get to the super chats?
Yeah, but like, would you want to talk about that article a bit more?
No, I didn't realize that one was going to be so heavily slanted towards MTV.
Yeah. No, but
that's a good question, Willie McDuff. That's a great question. But I also know the answer to that question because Gio never goes anywhere.
I'm not like, listen, I may have some deference towards the, like, there's like a number of like right-wing bronies out there, but I've never liked the furry thing. I've never met a furry that I liked, put it that way. I don't know. It's kind of like, I remember one time on BTR, we had a fucking furry stream and these people, they were literal. I'm not joking, by the way, you could look it up. They were a literal Satanist furry. Gay Satanist furries. This is what Lev subjected me to. So
you've just become Lev.
Oh my god!
Now I'm subjected to torture.
No, I didn't see the Leafs game. I got to see it. Is it a good one? Did the Leafs lose? Let me see. Well, in a few years,
no, they won.
Leafs, so you get
they won. They beat the Boston Bruins 5-4. In
You gotta be
overtime.
fucking kidding me.
No, in overtime.
Holy!
They're at
Was
the
it an
top of
Islander that scored the overtime goal?
I don't know.
Oh,
I
man.
just looked it up for you, Gio, because I felt like you deserved to have some good news in your life.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so this gay furry Satanist, like it was actually quite a jarring experience. I'm not gonna lie. Like when I was doing the stream, it was like, I'm like, why am I here? Why am I here? But anyways,
I'm blown away by there's that old. You want to know what's the strangest thing about this, like this day and age that we live in, is
yeah,
what's the word I'm looking for? When Religion News a few years back, literally had the whole. They did a whole cover. I think also was it also EWTN that covered it. I think in some article
I think
somewhere.
so.
But they covered the whole Hund the Hound meets Jesus Christ.
Oh, what was that?
This was the whole thing that sparked the Catholic furry conversation. That was a flash in the pan moment on right-wing Twitter like 3 years ago.
Oh, I think my mind tuned that out.
Isn't that something that can get you excommunicated from the Roman Catholic Church? Is betting on the conclave?
Yes, because that's technically considered.
Isn't that considered
simony.
Blasphemy against the Holy Spirit?
It's considered a form of simony.
Okay, I figured.
Yeah, can't do that. It doesn't look good for Pope Francis though. The Trojan.
Keep talking about the topic at hand. There will be 52 tangents about e-perv culture.
Oh God. No, okay, let's talk about the topic at hand finally. So yeah, let's not venture about the Catholic furry thing. No, so I think that obviously the article's out of date, but it does hit at a fundamental truth about the way people, I think because people still have, even Zoomers that weren't exactly around, still have that sort of ideal about the internet being more or less an open frontier when it's anything but.
Oh, that frontier closed
Yeah.
at least 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. No, exactly. And so I think that maybe people are getting wiser to it because of, especially after this USAID thing and a number of other incidences. Do people remember when a bunch of bread tubers, like, they were going to invite, maybe we should do that.
I would be down for that if he's open for it.
Oh, we could bring on Obese Goth and Kino Corner for Oscar Talk.
I'm now trying to think of Obese Goth and who that is.
Yeah, he talks about movies all the time. Like, that's his thing. Obese Goth.
Okay, well, I'm not opposed.
Unless
this is when I find out I'm blocked by them. No, okay, I'm not blocked. It's just a locked account. We're fine.
Yeah, he's locked. Yeah,
that's fine.
I think if you follow him, he'll let you in.
We'll see.
No, but he does a bunch of Twitter spaces about the Oscars and things like that. There are people that do like still watch Hollywood films. It's just me. I don't know. The only films I watch are like indie films now, pretty much. I had a
30-minute conversation after coffee hour this last Sunday about a Bellatar film because my roommate had sent. My roommate is not a movie guy at all whatsoever. He's not a movie guy. And he had sent me this. He had shared with me this meme, and he'd sent it to my buddy, where it's a picture of like Dr. House just staring at you angrily, and it's just like. When your friend says that he'd rather watch Interstellar than some like 8-hour long Bulgarian foreign film with a $2 budget in black and white. And I'm like, and so we're sitting there and I was like, did you see this meme he sent me? And I was like, oh yeah, I saw that. I thought that was pretty funny. He's like, yeah, I was literally watching like a budget, European film about this. And I said, were you watching a Bellatar movie? And he's like, how did you know? And I was like, because you and I are kind of similar when it comes to our taste in film. And that's a little depressing. So we talked about which one did he watch that we were talking about?
Domination?
No.
Satan Tango?
No.
Oh God. You can't take someone who's never watched.
It was The Man from London.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I've never watched that one, but I heard it was pretty.
It was good. The Man from London we talked about.
No, you can't.
What is going on at these churches? A lot of good things. We're all trying to get saved.
Man. You can't like take a non-film buff and make him watch all 7 hours of Satan Tango. I watched all 7 hours of Satan Tango, not in one sitting, but like, over
Yeah,
a
neither
period of
did
a few
I.
days.
That was a couple of days.
Yeah. A conclave is going to. Okay, so here's the thing. This is another thing. Now that we're talking about this,
That movie was very good. AA.
I never watched it. I think I maybe watched.
You need
scenes
to
of
watch The
Duelist.
Duelists.
Yeah, I should watch it. But I don't know. Ridley Scott can produce a lot of coal, though.
Correct.
The Turn Horse Cremator. The Turn Horse.
What are the Oscar nominations while I'm thinking about it? Let's go through that.
No, but the
97th Academy Awards hosted this coming Sunday, March 25th. Or March 2nd, 2025. Actors for a leading role. The nominees: Adrian Brody, The Brutalist; Timothy Chalamet, A Complete Unknown; Coleman Domingo, Ralph Fiennes, and Sebastian Stan. Oh yeah, he got nominated because he did that Trump movie that nobody fucking talked about because Trump won the election. Sebastian Stan, The Apprentice. Yeah, I just saw a clip of it get reposted today where apparently he like chokes out his ex-wife and like assaults her.
Oh my god. Bellatar versus Alejandro Jodorowsky. Well, Bellatar's like the nihilist Jodorowsky.
That's very true.
Yeah.
That's so true.
What's it?
So where do they put that one? Where do they put that one dude in all this conversation about the Elena Perez? That got nominated for best film, right? Was the what's the word I'm looking for? There's the whole trans movie that's in here, right? Best picture. Let's find out.
It was
Amelia Perez. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anyone actually watch that? Also, you know it's a bad year when fucking Wicked got nominated for Best Picture.
Oh, Wicked. Oh, fuck.
So did Dune Part 2.
I can't rag on ortho converts. Apparently we have fucking Catholic furries. Oh my god. Okay.
I'm going to politely say Jesus is right. We're talking about the plank in your own eye first.
Oh man. Okay, story time. Story
time. Oh no, oh no.
Me and my folks, we watched Conclave together.
How'd that go?
My old man, he stood up after smoking his about 6th or 7th cigarette, got up and said, that was a waste of 2.5 hours of an hour and a half of my life. And I'm like, yep, it fucking was. It was a fucking terrible, blasphemous piece of shit movie. And I love Ralph Fiennes as an actor. It's nothing against Ralph Fiennes, did a great job, but like it was such a fucking horrendous hack job. I used to like Jodorowsky, but now I just like Tarkovsky. Yeah, well, teach his own. I like both, but no, the Conclave was fucking stupid. It was, you know what it was? It was essentially an American political campaign for a president. Like it was essentially an Americanized presidential race, but electing a new pope. That's essentially what it was. And then at the very end, the Afghan pope finds out that he's a true hermaphrodite. There you go. I spoiled it. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! The Pope is a hermaphrodite. And he's Afghani, and the Taliban wanted to behead him. So there you go. That's the whole movie. And then all of the Italian social conservative, his name was Tedesco. He was like the evil chud. And then you had the American cardinal. He was like a backstabbing, I don't know.
Was that Stanley Tucci's character?
Yes.
Okay, I figured.
No, Stanley Tucci was the American libtard one.
Oh, okay. I did not watch this film. I just know who's in it.
So the American libtard one was the one that Ralph Fiennes was backing, but he got less of the vote because, of course, he's a fucking liberation theologist piece of shit who's like, I believe in birth control and women priests, and I don't believe in when Ma had 10 kids because she didn't know any better, and Tedesco's this evil trad con, and we can't let him become the new pope. He's gonna ruin he's going to ruin 50 years of progress if Tedesco, the Italian tradcon, becomes the Pope. And it said, then the fucking Pope, because this Afghani that they had to hide because the Taliban was going to behead him, and he makes a speech because there was a terrorist attack in Rome, and the Tedesco was like the fucking, like Mark Stein, Douglas Murray neocon. We got to kick all the Muslims out, which, by the way, based, not that neocons, not that Douglas Murray and Mark Stein are based, but that, kicking out all the Muslims from Italy is based. So there was a terrorist attack.
I mean, we should.
Yeah, so in the film, there's a terrorist attack that killed 50 people right outside of the Holy See. But then the Afghani cardinal comes in and makes the speech against Tedesco that you don't know anything about war. I was in Bosnia, I was in Afghanistan, and we gotta love everybody. And they make him the Pope, and they find out that he went to a clinic in Sweden, or I think it was either Switzerland. It was Switzerland, where he wanted to get gender-affirming care because he was a true hermaphrodite, but then he decided against it. And they're like, well, I guess the new Pope's by gender. That's the fucking movie. I'm not joking. This was the fucking movie. This was your Catholic. And you know what's the shame of it is?
Did the papacy or anyone representing
they
the whole...
fucking sent consultants on this movie.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
I was going to hope that there would be like a cardinal or someone to condemn it.
I think there was. There was like more conservative cardinals. But then the Vatican, I think, sent advisors to like do the whole like Baphomet elected as Pope. What do they mean by this? Oh, God. Yeah, because Baphomet is a hermaphrodite in the iconography. Yeah. No, that was the movie. That was literally the movie. And me and my old man just looked
Hollywood
at each other.
is not beating those Judeo-papal allegations.
Oh my God. Allowed. Oh yeah, the Black Cardinal. And the Black Cardinal was like fucking every nun, and he had like illegitimate kids, and he was going to be the Black Pope, the Mac Daddy Pope, but then they discovered that he was a Mac Daddy, but then the evil American like centrist cardinal like stabbed him in the back by bringing one of the nuns that he impregnated to the Vatican. And he was like a Pastor Manning type of cardinal.
So really they were insulting the image of Cardinal Sarah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, the Cardinal Sarah.
Dear God.
And he was a SoCon too. He was like Cardinal Sarah. And then basically it was like...
They've never forgiven them for the code. They've never forgiven the Catholic Church for the film code.
Yeah.
There will never be... There are very few, if ever, there will ever be positive films about the Roman Catholic Church in the West.
Or McCarthyism. They'll never forgive him for that.
They'll never forgive him for that.
Yeah. And yet the Catholic Church spazzed out about the last temptation of Christ.
Written by a Greek man. Written by a Greek man.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
But Scorsese only directed it, yeah.
Yeah. The script, if I recall correctly, is from who's it originally by? It's written by Paul Schrader, but it is an adaptation of Nikos Kazantzakis' 1955 novel of the same thing.
Well, Scorsese always had like a very problematic relationship to his own, like, Italian-American Catholicism type of deal.
Well, that's the thing. He's narrating this whole thing on The Saints.
Yeah.
And I'm half tempted to watch it. I just find it a little bizarre that Martin Scorsese is throwing his name and voice around this, while at the same time, this is being directed and produced by a guy whose sole film production company is meant to promote Jewish history and Jewish values in media.
Whoa. That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, but like that's what I mean. Scorsese can't let it go. He can't let his Catholic mother go. You know what I mean?
No, obviously not.
Yeah. But no, but that movie Conclave was fucking. I hated it. It was terrible. There was like literally no like. I understand like like the cinematography was pretty good, and Ralph Fiennes does play like he reminded me of that one guy who was sort of like the Janny, the fixer in the young Pope, the new Pope. He reminded me of that guy. Like,
I
he was
liked the
running
first
around.
season of The Young Pope. I did not watch the second one.
Well, he was like running around and fixing everything. And then well, my old man wanted to watch it, and because he was curious like I was. And so it happened to be on Amazon Prime, and so we were like, yeah, let's watch it. And it was terrible. Obese Goth said the Conclave was good. Yeah, but Obese Goth is looking at it not through the eyes of a Catholic. He's looking at it through the eyes of a Hollywood enjoyer, as someone who appreciates cinematography and things of that nature. I think Obese Goth, what he does is he ignores the... I'm not bashing him, by the way. He's a very good film critic. But I think Obese Goth isn't like really critiquing the the subjective social messaging. To him, it's more about the way a movie is actually made. That's Obese Goth's angle. And so, whereas to me as a Catholic, I was terribly, and I don't say this because like, I don't exactly like wear my faith on my shoulder like a lot of trad caths online or whatever, but it kind of did like offend me. I got to admit, it really did. It offended me. Like it offended me because it was stupid, because it was like taking the very sacred and almost, mysterious process of electing a new pope and how they get it done, and the real spiritual mental effort that it takes for those cardinals to elect a new pope. It takes it and it makes it into a fucking presidential debate. That's what it was. And the centrist hermaphrodite won. The libtard got shelved because nobody wanted him. The social conservative he was a racist. And then there was one scene where Tedesco, the racist social conservative Italian, he goes, "What's the other alternative?" And he glances at all the black cardinals. It's like he was like shutting out. It's very true. Us Italians can be quite racist, People know that, It was very funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's true. They were talking about who was going to become the next pope, and then he glances over at the black cardinal. He's like, "It could be worse." It's like, now we know a Hollywood movie about electing a hockey club captain. Oh, man. It was like when they made Lindros the captain of the Flyers. Jude's pal. What? I learned that on The Sopranos.
I think he meant Jude's Law.
Oh, yeah, Jude's Law, yeah.
Or Jude
I learned
Law.
that on The Sopranos, that Italians are racist?
What a great time.
Yeah, that's kind of funny, not gonna lie. No, it's true. The way he glanced at the black Cardinals. It could be worse, And he like glances over. He was like shutting out. I wanted Tedesco to win. I gotta admit, I wanted Tedesco to become the next pope. But it wasn't. No, they had to cat's paw.
Oh,
be
Lord.
careful for what you wish for, to get like a Chudjak as the next pope. JP2 was the first white pope in a century. Oh, fuck off, Donald Trump Gaming! John Paul II was the first white pope in century. Oh, man. It's true, man. We haven't had an Italian pope in I shouldn't say that. No, Francis is an Italian pope, but you know what I mean. Like not an Argentinian Italian, from Italy. But
so John Paul I was the last Italian one?
I think so. Wait, was Bergoglio born in Italy or was born in Argentina?
Oh, well, he was only on the papal chair for a couple of days, a couple months or a month. Okay.
Yeah. No, but Pope Francis, was he born in Italy or was he born in Argentina?
Pope Francis?
Yeah.
Jorge Bergoglio, isn't that his name? Let's go look it up real quick. He's 88 years old. He was born in Buenos Aires in 1936.
Oh, okay, yeah. But I mean, he's Italian. They're all Italian. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, I mean, most of them.
Okay. According to the Vatican, he had a CT scan. He's in critical but stable condition.
Yeah. No, I mean Argentines. A lot of Argentines are either Italian or Spanish. You know.
He was the first born and raised outside of Europe since the 8th century Pope Gregory III.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, that's right. There are a lot of Germans in Argentina. That's true.
The last non-European pope since Pope Francis in 1,272 years.
Oh, man. I think that there was a few popes that were born in North Africa, if I recall.
Probably beforehand, but I don't know.
Yeah. But
oh, that's a movie I'm never gonna watch.
Yeah, it was terrible. Well, you know, there was one guy that moved to Argentina.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. He died in 1993.
I heard the 60s.
Yeah, maybe. Did you guys watch The Substance? No, I didn't watch What's The Substance? What's that about?
It's with Dennis Quaid.
Oh,
And
man.
Demi Moore. No, I did not. It's a body horror film.
Oh, wow. She got Randy Quaid for that one.
No, he's doing that weird Novocaine movie where he's a guy who feels no pain. So now it's just body horror special effects.
Man, what happened to Randy Quaid? Remember he went crazy?
Yeah, he did. Advertising The Substance, a black market drug that promises a younger, more beautiful, more perfect version of oneself.
Whoa. Yeah.
Yikes. All right, I'm not going to read the rest of it. I'll probably watch this.
Yeah, that sounds like a good movie.
I'll watch that. However, I do have to review something first before I go do that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Gio and I are reviewing an anime for you, courtesy of a very generous patron.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, I think now it's plenty. That's just a good time to get into the super chats.
Yeah.
So
what's the anime called again?
That's a great question. I know exactly what it's called. Can I pronounce it? Absolutely not. No, it is High Bane Renmei is what we're going to be covering.
Oh, look, like right on cue. Right on cue. Look what fucking Bill Wilson posts.
Thank you, Bill Wilson. That's not happening.
No.
That would kill this show real quick.
Oh, yeah.
So fast.
That would talk kink.
Please let me just kill me now. You don't need to pay me, Sean. I'll review that and make that an episode. I don't care. Based on the premise of it, though, it reminds me of that awful Ryan Reynolds movie of the same thing, like with a similar concept. So we'll see.
I think Bill Wilson before said Gio only watches low-budget indie pornos on Tubi.
He really does. He really does.
Tubi's got a great.
We literally watched a low-budget porno movie for an episode here. It was a post-apocalyptic themed porno with an Asian lady.
Yeah, well, it wasn't really a porno, but I mean, it had its moments. There's just one movie on Tubi where never mind. It's about like
Gio casually just letting us see his like Tubi goon folder.
It was well done, man. It was well done. They had Romance X on Tubi. That was a great movie. They had Scarlet Diva. I remember I mentioned that to Mr. D Space. Mr. D's like, Gio, why? Why, Gio? Why? I'm not watching Scarlet Diva, Gio. It was with Asia Argento.
Zoomers will never be able to comprehend that our B movies used to be Christian Bale and Matthew McConaughey teaming up to hunt dragons in post-apocalyptic Britain.
Oh,
I know exactly what movie he's talking about. That came out in 2006.
What movie is that?
I'm trying to remember what it was called. It came out, was it 2000? Oh, hold on. I'm just going to look up Dragon movie, Christian Bale. Reign of Fire came out in 2002, excuse me. That movie was used to inspire the ever-loving shit out of the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim. Reign of Fire, thank you.
My favorite anime is George Droid.
I agree. I agree.
That's good. That's good. That's good, Willie.
Have you guys ever done the Mystic Show with Micah Pohl and Capitalissimo? You mean Drive Time Movie Night with Cap and Mike? Yeah. We've both been on it. I forced them on Martin Luther King Jr. Day to watch Buck Breaking.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one. Yeah. They made me watch, it was a sci-fi lesbian acid Western film. It was pretty good.
Yeah, they have a great show. It's a shame that they only do it live on Twitter.
Yeah.
But I get it, because if you do it here, you're going to get screwed on copyright.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So I see why they do it.
I think they do it on Odyssey, too.
It gets uploaded to Odyssey when it's done.
Yeah. It was good, though. It was like a pretty aesthetic-based film. It was like an acid Western, but it was on like a sci-fi planet. But it was like sort of like Gaian sci-fi, like the planet was living, and it was filled with lesbians, and there was only like one dude. And it was pretty good.
Sounds like something you'd be into there, buddy.
It was about a serial killer too. They were like hunting down this like rabid woman. It was pretty good.
Good to know.
Anyways,
I think we're going to go wrap up the show for the evening here, ladies and gentlemen. So, by all means, use the wonderful entropy link in the comments. It takes it's the pinned one in the chat. It's also down below in the description. It takes less of a cut than it does through YouTube. However, if you want to do through YouTube, that's perfectly fine. I always recommend that if you want to have long-term, ongoing, and recurring support for both Gio and myself, head over to patreon.com/giantartproductions, and you'll be able to find Gio and all of his wonderful work there as well. I'm down below. And Substack, as well as at theprudentialist.substack.com, as well as subscribestar.com/theprudentialist. I will be there as well. That's where you get to see stuff early, as well as episodes of the Discourse Corner. And then if you're a channel member, you get to see all the gaming streams and stuff early as well before it premieres. So I will start, as always, with the entropy chat comments. So we'll start from there. Starting from the top, or actually, I'll start from the bottom and then work our way up, because the most expensive one is at the top. Belial Bradley says, cancel culture is slightly over. Anthony Cumia coming back to terrestrial radio after being blacklisted for 10 years. Would you ever be a guest for his NormieCon platform if he ever wanted to interview someone from the E-Right?
You're fucking right, I would.
Yeah, I wouldn't say no.
I wouldn't say no.
I wouldn't say no. Would I ever call the
money?
I probably wouldn't say no. When it comes to most shows, I will say yes once until it bites me in the ass.
Yeah.
The next one comes from James Burnham, and he says, if you people do not start buying Gio hoodies, then Gio will never release his book. It will be your fault, Anon. Think about that.
That's very true. Go to pureobject.net, and we're working on toques and hats, too.
There you go.
No, but it's funny because Anthony Cumia, he's back on terrestrial radio, and he's like fucking dropping hot goss on Opie. Because, like, I think Opie, like, he can't let it go. Like, he keeps attacking him. But I know, like, Anthony Cumia is, like, fucked up and he's got his own, like, perversions or whatever. But I think, like, you know, I wasn't never, like, a big fan of Opie and Anthony. But I think, like, you know, they had some good moments. Skibbity Toilet and George Droid to Red Pill Jet Alpha. I think there was a Skibbity Toilet George Droid crossover.
House GOP passes budget bill, which ends taxes on tips, overtime, and Social Security. Let's see that survives the Senate, which I doubt.
I keep having that like brain rot version, the Zoomer brain rot Jelly House version of Mr. Brightside, Mr. Riz side, where it's like skibbity English or Spanish. It's like burned in my head.
Well, there you go. This next one, although his username is in Greek, Can
you try to pronounce it?
I can read it. I'm not gonna pronounce it. Beaver Warrior or something like that. Anyways, he says, in smaller backwater countries like mine, American leftist patronage is a non-trivial percentage of GDP percentage. Cutting it might straight up cause a recession. I'm sorry, but it has to be done.
Well, it's like Greece when they had that, remember that anti-austerity party? What was it called? Riza? Or what was it called? Was it called Riza?
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I think they're definitely, like, any austerity measure at that time would have definitely fucked Greece over. But there is, like, in a lot of these smaller nations, there's huge armies of NGOs that are essentially designed to create disinformation, create patronage networks, and so forth.
And this is where you can get Gio's hoodie.
pureobject.net and go to alfpouch/prude for what, 15% off?
10% off.
10% off.
And of course, the mandated FDA warning: this product is nicotine and contains addictive chemicals. But hey, consume responsibly.
Is it nicotine salt or is it something like Nicorette?
No, it's actual nicotine. NGOs, thumbs down. So true. What a cool guy. What a cool dude. Oh, yeah. Although I say that and put his PFP on screen, not knowing who that is.
See, I want to
certainly hope that that's I certainly hope that it's like an AI generated face. But I'm going to carry on here. Sean Schaefer says, Gio, I only made the Norwooding old head Gio Groiper, not the entire meme. DM me on Twitter to hash out details. You have fun with that, Gio. And you have fun with that, Sean. This man does not respond to emails.
No, but I assumed that the one on the hoodie was made by Constant Gaius.
You guys can hash that out. Lol, it is AI generated. Okay, what a cool dude. Yes. There you go. All right, I'm always glad because I would hate to put up someone's like face on the show and they're like, oh shit, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Is oil a gay thing? Well, you're gonna find out in a couple of weeks when Dimes and I do our episode of Do You Even Read covering Cyclopedia. Have fun with that.
Nice.
You'll understand.
No, but I want to try Elf Pouch because I know that Nicorette uses a thing that's closer to real nicotine. Same with Thrive. Whereas, like, I never really liked Zine because Zine has like, it's nicotine salt. It's like harsher on your mouth, and you know, it does get you more ripped though. I will say, nicotine salt works way faster. But Gio doesn't realize the Mossad is trying to access his locker and transplant Palestine into the void. Oh my god!
Oh, so true.
Oh man, Trump is going to put the Palestinians in my childhood locker.
Good lord.
Do you still puff back clouds? No, I mean I don't really vape. I mean I occasionally I will smoke real cigarettes, but I don't really vape. I don't know, I stick to the gum.
I'm impressed by the guy's username, but anyways, Dunk asks. He says, "Gio, since we all have the same Easter this year, will you be doing a Lenten style fast with us?" I don't know. Gio, are you doing intermittent fasting still with your weight loss routine?
I mean, kind of. I only eat like breakfast and dinner. That's about it. But like I used to do like hardcore one meal a day. But no, I mean, it's been all right with just 2 meals, you know.
Yeah, so, day 2 of into meat fare. I'm not happy, but that's okay.
You're doing carnivore?
No. The Eastern Church has a much stricter Lenten fast than the West does, and so you have a week without doing meat, and then when Lent starts proper, you have it's Cheese Fair Sunday, and then Forgiveness Vespers, and you start off technically with a clean slate, and then you're basically vegan for 40 days, which is a little rough, but that's okay.
Oh my god, you do that?
I do. I do. I've been doing it for quite a few years now.
Oh man, you can't have eggs or anything?
No.
Oh god.
So I go pretty hard on fish when I can, and then everything else I go for the most high protein diet imaginable. But yes, that's what I do. And I will say this: 1, it's great for weight loss, but 2, in terms of spiritual growth, it's wonderful. So I'll disclose the number just because it's incredibly generous and it's above and beyond what I had asked.
Yeah, me too.
But but I will simply say it. So anyways, Gio and I were both paid by Mr. Meyer Hybe, and his real name I won't say because he emailed it to me. Because he asked me via my email, "Hey Prude, I sent this proposal to Gio like months ago, and I never heard back." And I'm like, "I'm so sorry, sir, that he doesn't respond." And I was like, "What can I do for you?" And he's like, "Wow, I know who to get a hold of in case I ever want to do something with a digital archipelago." And I'm like, "Yes, sir, that's correct. What can I do for you?" Anyways, we will be covering as part of a paid coverage episode. It might be a two-parter. We have not yet decided.
Yeah,
it probably will be a two-parter episode. It'll probably be later in March or maybe in April, depending on what my schedule looks like. For instance, next week's Digital Archipelago episode has to either be on a Friday or pre-recorded.
Yeah.
Just because I'll be busy with being the first week of Lenten services. But he says this is payment for the High-Bane Rem-May coverage, and he sent us an incredibly generous. I really feel bad for even saying the number out loud, but it is very kind of him for $250. I have no words because I told him 100 as per the usual, and he went above and beyond. And he also sent the same number of money to Gio. So he and I are both covering it. One episode on my channel, one episode on Gio's to review the whole one season through run of its philosophy. I've been told it's kind of like Lane, but more theological.
Mm-hmm.
It has one of the best soundtracks ever. So I'm looking forward to watching it.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think, maybe even multi-part. You never know.
Yeah, it'll be at least a two-part, two DA episodes will be dedicated to the show. For instance, we are sponsored by viewers like you. So that's how you get episodes sponsored that way. Then Charlie Mackey says, "Good evening. I hope you are both doing well. How much for a VTuber review?" I kid, but VTubers and their whales are pretty pathetic and sad.
I mean, if
Charlie
it's a
Mackey,
drama review, maybe that'd be interesting.
The only VTuber I care about is Patrician TV, so that's about it.
It depends on what it is. Like if it's like VTubers, like I mean, if it's sector drama, that'd be interesting. But like, if it's just like typical like VTuber brain rot, then I don't know what do VTubers do? Do they like play video games or like what do they do?
I guess they react to stuff and play video games.
Like I know they got like pretty sophisticated rigs to do the whole like anime girl thing, but like, do you remember that one VTuber where like the rig failed and it was like a gross like little Asian guy?
Many such cases.
Yeah. The VTube is Sargon's old vampire friend. How the fuck do you review a streamer? Watch all the VODs?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's like hundreds of hours. I'm not.
You guys can't have an anime review episode without live chat. It's not fair. Oh, I mean, those episodes will be live.
Yeah, they will be live. Yeah.
Next week probably won't be.
Yeah.
But we're also going to be reviewing a documentary again with Dimes.
When the Saxon begins to hype.
When the Saxon began to hype.
No, Bill. Sloppy Joe Stalin. Yeah, maybe I'll smoke on stream next week. You never know.
We'll see. Oh, that V. Yeah, Romanian TV. I remember.
Oh God, V. Oh, the Sargon. Danny.
I remember V. I remember Gamergate. I remember Five Guys, Burgers and Fries.
I remember Louis Lavelle.
Oh, I remember the Pastor Louis rants. They were very good. Oh,
remember Pastor Anderson? Oh, man.
I do. Yeah. All right, I'll now on to the YouTube ones, and we'll wrap this up because I want to go to bed. Josiah for $4.99 says pizza. Well, pizza is good.
Nice.
I'm a fan. A nice deep dish pizza would be very good. Cool Dude says, "I'm a cool dude, super chatting some other cool dudes. I dig the show. Cool dude, over and out." Nice, I like that this is not an AI generated face. I don't feel bad about putting it on screen.
Thank you, cool dude. You are a cool dude.
What a cool dude.
Yeah.
Hugo Gloss for 50 Mexican pesos. He says, "In the 2000s, my father fired like 20 guys when internet chats were introduced and started talking shit, not knowing they were on record." Never talk shit in the company Slack channel.
That's incredible. That's amazing.
Outstanding. Just
like I could picture like some Mexican dude talking mad smack about. Yeah.
The Templar for $2 says, "Gio, the Empire State Bridge doesn't exist."
Sorry, I meant the Brooklyn Bridge. The Empire
this
State
has been fact checked by real New York patriots.
The Empire State Bridge, it should exist.
Aramaic Discourse says, I do it for the Cal Art style corpo ads telling me to vote Democrat. You do it because half of I think Gio's taken it more than me. The thumbnail in Cal Arts is over on Gio's channel.
Oh yeah, you didn't use the new one?
I haven't used it yet. I'll use it eventually.
All right.
Hugo Gloss again says Aaron Bushnell didn't even get a shit coin.
Oh, it's so bad.
It's truly a tragic. It's truly tragic. Truly.
She was a freaking visitor of the underneath of the Queensboro Bridge. Oh, God. Oh, that's brutal.
I can answer this question for you, Bolero. The answer is no.
Gio, are you coming to the LGC conference? I'll think about it.
Dude, we're sold out.
Oh, fuck. I mean, you can make an exception.
Would you actually attend?
It depends. Who's coming this year? Who's the speaker?
Martyrmaid, Jeff Deist, Dave the Distributist, John Doyle, Oren McIntyre, I'm speaking, and a few others.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Not even Martyrmaid.
Yeah, we got lucky with that one.
Aaron Bushnell got a Fraser Payne shout out at least.
That's true, he did. He did. Mine got Niles.
Gio guest speaker and e-girls.
Does Gio receive group hugs from furries often?
No.
Well, that's good. Robert Weisenfeld saying Jewish values and media sounds suspicious. Oh man, Robert, you're gonna be happy though, because I have so much free time coming up.
Well, Robert can say it.
This March that I'll actually be able to send you off those recordings for those audiobooks you wanted.
Holy shit.
No,
but like what was I gonna say about e-girls?
I don't know. You have some angry people on Twitter wanting to know why you want more sexually frustrated MAGA moms.
Let me check.
You have some very frustrated people with that.
Oh man, Canadian might have more foreign representation than the UN itself. Take it up with the Italian. MILFs are great. I don't want them to be sexually frustrated. If only there was something we could do to fix that.
And then the last super chat of the evening comes from Owen Zaleski, but he goes by Gio Go in the Locker on Entropy. I like this. Gio needs to go in. Shove Gio in lockers. Roundhouse kick a Gio into a locker.
Stir Gio in a walk in the locker.
Stir Gio in a walker. Lock the lockers on filthy Geos. He says, hello, gents. I hope you saw my art. I saw the one that you had today about blocking e-girls. That was wonderful, Owen. He says, working on some more comics. Gio needs to do an art stream and a call-in stream for Digital Archipelago so I can call in and call him a horny bastard. God bless you both.
We were thinking about that, but then
we've thought about that for like a long time to do a call-in show.
Maybe we could do like a Twitter space thing.
No, we could do one. We would just probably vet the shit out of whoever comes on the call in the background studio.
And like we'd answer, be like, radical agenda, what's your agenda? Oh man.
Gio in the locker going into the mirror universe. Yeah, we could let's do that.
We could do a call-in show.
We'll do a call-in show. So no, I will show the art and then we will call it an evening. Man, some of these replies are insane. I like how Cine did the like animation design for this and then it just got turned into its own artwork. I'll share screen. Is my images showing before I go open my no, okay, my messages are not showing. So yeah, this is what we got put on there. Block e-girls. Truly the sensitive young man of our time is this frog. And it's not me, but it is me.
This sounds like a very petty, self-interested suggestion rather than something that's actually constructive to the movement.
Call-in show like 1990s public access cable TV.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah,
yes. We'll do it. We'll have an episode.
That one.
That might be episode 150. We'll do it episode 150. It'll be great.
Yeah. No, we'll do a call-in show sooner than that, but
probably.
Yeah. There was that
Chief,
one.
No.
Oh, fuck! Don't bring up.
Sorry, I was just reading chat. Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
Cool dude's been fucking spamming. Don't.
I have 30 weeks to prepare for what I'm going to say. That's true.
I have 30 weeks to
that one time I got reincarnated as a locker. The Chronicles of Chuddia, the fake cell, the e-girl in the locker. I'm a fan. I'm a fan, Record Deepness. I'm a fan.
Man.
That'll be like a nuclear icebreaker chat. And this is why we need sensible, truth nuke proliferation agreements.
Can you imagine an incel and Negro version of Bridge to Terabithia?
I mean, I can. It's the same thing, except in this one, you would be, what's his name? Josh, what's his name?
Hutchinson?
Yeah, you'd be Josh Hutchinson, and like you'd be like heartbroken because your favorite e-girl died.
Yeah.
I feel like that's you now.
Yeah, it's like if Annie Slats died.
Instead of her dying, she deactivates.
Oh no!
She was never real. She was never real. Once the USAID money dried up, my EGF stopped.
That was like T.R. Hudson.
That was a great Graventus tweet.
Yeah, that was a great. As soon as the USA money dried up, my e-girl doesn't reply.
It was very good.
That's great.
What was the actual tweet? He says my EGF has stopped messaging me. Yeah, multiple. No, yeah, he quote tweeted these multiple senior FBI leaders have been ordered to retire, resign, or be fired by Monday per CNN. Oh, so true. Last online 5 years ago.
Oh, that's brutal.
So true. So true.
There was this one girl. I'll never forget her. She was like
an AI podcast. Call me droidy.
Call me droidy.
I'm an e-girl. He's an incel. What more do I have to say?
He was a chud. She was an e-girl. Can I make it any more obvious?
Only for her to slip a pill in your mouth and you wake up and she's not there anymore. You took your meds. We're so proud of you. It's over.
Oh,
and you know what else is over? The 120th episode of the Digital Archipelago. Again, you wonderful people continue to make this show possible and allow my suffering to be a source for your entertainment. We'll be back hopefully next week, either live next Friday or with a pre-recorded episode with the time and opportunities available to us. So with that being said, I will see you all next week. Gio?
Yep.
Alrighty.
God bless. Well, I mean, I gotta. I've been stymied with the content. I gotta come up with a new Cole report, but it took a long time to edit the other episode of DA. So, anyways, as we always say, God bless. Goodbye. Too sweet. Go to pureobject.net. Go to alfpouch.com/prude, and we gotta get more sponsors too. We'll do that.
We'll find out, and we'll see you all next time.
All right.